revs me up when thinking about the aspects of this game. Anyway, like I said, enough preamble. Into the game. If you missed last session, we played for like 8 or 9 hours, and we had 3 hours of doing really well. We set up industries, we set up shops, and we were pumping out really high quality drugs and beverages and tobacco. So I had absolutely cornered the market on drugs like pills, syrup, and beverages like grape juice, wine, and cola, and of course my bottled milk that everyone wants my tech on. Oh, it was the golden years. We also went into tobacco, we got those ciggies and those cigars, and a few auxiliary products just to fill in bits here and there like body lotion, chocolate bars. I thought I was the king. I was the biggest and best company making the biggest profits. We had a little side in retail, and then I decided to open a bank. And I gotta say, that was the turning point for everything going really, really badly. The bank was a money pit. I just kept pouring everything I made from every other industry into my bank, and it just kept shedding that money. In the end, I threw it off to a subsidiary, the Plague Hearts. I created this company. I own 100% of it. That isn't the company. This is the company. It is run by Nick Brick. Nick Brick is the most useless man in existence. That means he's cheap. So it's up to Nick Brick to keep this company that is only my bank alive. And after a very, very long time of not doing very well, the bank is now actually making profit and doing well, and I don't need to keep pouring money at it. Anytime that my subsidiary runs out of dosh, I just tell them to go and get a loan for themselves, and they pay that back with the profits they make off the bank. Wonderful. Indeed, username is Arson. The hindsight here is that I tried to break into the banking industry right at the start of a global recession. Didn't go so well. Went pretty capital rock for me. However, there's no real however and bright side on that. After about 4 or 5 years of making big bank on the industries I set up, I then lost over a decade. I think I lost about 14 years stalling out everything else just to keep my bank alive. However, we did manage to pull through, and now we have a profitable bank. But the burden on our company is pretty huge. It's so huge that it can really demotivate someone. But this game is so dear to me from what I've seen so far. We're pushing on through. I've got fresh new ideas, and I've got fresh new goals. Of course, the overarching goal for this run is to win the King of Capitalism goals. The main goal right now is to have a certain value and a certain ownership of corporation. We're slowly stumbling towards there, but I'm pretty sure the game adds more goals as time goes on. Now, my goals here, is in what I intend to do on today's stream, is to, 1, dig myself out of debt. I've been in perennial multi-hundred millions or billions of debt for a long time. I'm going to dig my way out of that without just having more debt. Might be a tall order. New loans are more expensive than my existing loans. It's not even refinancing as an option. So yeah, 1, get myself out of debt. Number 2 is to break into a new business. I have an idea for that. I would actually quite like to get into insurance, but obviously don't have what it takes to get into that right now. The third one is to finally increase my profits. My profits have stagnated and even shrunk over the past 14 years, which is really bad because my competitors have not. And the fourth goal is to get my stock back. I sold out a bunch of my stock to keep my company alive, and now buying it back is a very expensive proposition. Henry of Skalitz, for example, he's my COO and he owns way too much of the company, and he doesn't want to sell his stock to me. How much would I have to offer him to... Well, I don't even have the money to offer him for that stock, so I need to figure out how to get that off of him. Geez, that annual interest payment. Leather, yeah, there are many profitable ventures out there. Well, you brought up leather, Rested Pandy. If we look at leather as a product of all companies, leather goods, there's still market there for me to step into, so that's not impossible for me to step into, but it's not my plan. My plan is not to get into new physical product lines at the moment, or industries. Oh, it's worth noting that we went into the World Wide Web. I've got, how much have I got? I've got over a quarter market share of the internet, and that just prints raw money for me, which is nice. But we also print money from our video on demand service Twatch, original name Do Not Steal. Again, the gloriously grinning Henry of Skalitz is managing most of my companies for me. We even have the Hertz Rent-A-Car set up, which does make money too. We pour out quite a lot of money into maintaining it, but it seems to make a profit, and that's good. Wish I had a bit more of the reach on it. And we have a really pathetic internet company called Ask Jake, which is all about advertising. And our reach is 3%, which is god-awful. I'm surprised anybody uses it. But I hope that someday Ask Jake will be top dog in the business. It's just pretty hard to get there when our competitors have well, they've got 100 better tech levels than us. I have some ideas on how I could break into doing that better, and we're going to act on those ideas. But still, we've got a tall order. I wouldn't mind... Isn't there another video sharing site, Jake? Is there? I don't know. We have the top tech. I'm sure we can check that somewhere. I really wish there was a better way to get an overview of internet stuff out there. I mean internet market share. You don't get pie charts for it like you do products unless it's somewhere that I can't see it. But here all these products are physical products, not internet-y stuff. So I have no idea where to check that. Maybe it is in the game. Almost every time I've thought, oh, I wish there was this. It has been there somewhere, I've just not seen it. Are your R&D people getting trained up? Okay, so there's a bunch of things I need to fix, and we'll get on that. First and foremost, yeah, I discovered something when I was trawling through the forums, and it was a message from the devs, or one of the devs, that said, when the training is maxed out, and your people have maximum skill level, you stop paying for their training. So, that's awesome. That means that Henry here will no longer alter the training budget, and we're going to make sure that the training level is maxed out across all of our firms. Excellent. Might be a bit more expensive for us, but I'm sure we can live with that. Lucky's our CMO. Weird thing in this advertising budget. I still don't know the best way to handle the advertising micro. Your COO handles it, but I feel like he doesn't handle all of it. As far as I can tell, the COO never changes what you set advertising for on your internet companies. Like, I set these ages ago and they haven't budged. So, not thrilled with that. I'd like to offset that micro, but he doesn't seem to want to. If you temporarily tank your monthly profits by using a money drain like mass funding advertising, your stock will become dirt cheap. You can buy them back easily and then stop the money drain, says Ashtron. We're getting there. I have a plan. We'll see if that plan works or not, though. So I have a lot of things I want to do, right? Make more money, get back my stock, get into a new company, and I forget what my fourth one was, but I'm sure it was good. The first order of business is thinking about all my friends that were useless, pathetic failures like my company sort of is right now. What did they do? Well, they got into politics. So let's take a leaf out of their page, or page out of their book, leaf out of their tree. I don't know, I'm not good with sayings like this. And we're going to have a company called the Big L. Sorry, company. It's a political party. Legitimate political party is now opened up called the Big L, fighting against the Republicans and the Social Democrats. Don't like the sound of either. Oh god, Eurista would be in charge of the Social Dems. Radar Truck runs the Republican Party. My own CEO, Nick Brick, is in the Republican Party. How could you do this to me? Well, when I set up the Big L, Speed Racist and Great White Bull decided to become members of my party executive. Now, I want to find where is in current recession. Brasilia is in a recession. Good for them, I guess. But not in other places, right? So I want to target Brasilia. And given that it has the highest real wage rate, I think I'll go for Chengdu as well. In fact, that means I'm targeting two places that both have pretty good real wage. Okay. Speed Racist, you can stay in Brasilia, but I'm going to relocate Dominion 5's Great White Bull to Chengdu. Lübeck is another tempting proposition because it's my home. Well, home. It's where... Well, it feels like home. This is where I've got all my industry, a lot of my housing, my headquarters, my R&D. Lubeck just feels like it, but the only reason it's my home is because it's the first on the list, so it's easiest to remember. So we're going to get into politics, and a large reason for that is because in the cities, the term is almost up for the current people. All the current mayors, the mayor of Lubeck is El Coro, Rance runs Brasilia, sorry I'm going to be fighting Rance, Chengdu is run by Rio Hayabasa, that's, well it's not racist but it's racial, and Vancouver is run by Double J. But the term's the same for all of them, and the voting starts a year before the end of term, so we're just about to enter voting time. It's a shame I didn't do this before, because then I could get more political party members to shove into more of those, but 2 will do, Brasilia and Chengdu. And we'll hope that works out well for them. So, whilst that is going on, I need to figure out how to buy back my own stock. My stock is way overvalued. The P to E is 133. Now, I don't have a great understanding of how this number works, but as I understand it, the larger that number, the more inflated your stock price, so we need to try and deflate that stock price. And indeed, I think that hammering into our own profits might be the way to go for that. So I'm going to vastly increase the amount of advertising we do for our own internet company, and I want to find... Well, I hate to use a competitor's thing, but I need that reach. So I'm going to link these up with the best companies for getting that reach out. The rate is really extortionate for this as well. I gotta market my own marketing firm, what a disaster. But we do it anyway. If I'm going to be tanking my money somewhere, I might as well be... Oh, I can link with multiple companies, I didn't even know that. Cool, just how many can I link with? Anyway, Ask Jake really needs to get up in the world, so I may as well go with that. I don't think I can market my own telecommunication firm, so too bad for that. Seems like the wages haven't grown at all in Lubeck for decades here. Well, they have, but probably in line with inflation, which would be why real wage is so low. I don't recall Vancouver being such a low real wage, but we've been largely ignoring Vancouver like the world should. In fact, do I do anything here? I've got some basic setup for commercial and residential buildings. I like both of these, and I would actually quite like to expand my residential and commercial holdings in all the cities, because I think that's what's been keeping me alive. I wish I could get a better breakdown of where my operating revenue comes in, because I have to jump in bit by bit into each of my firms, but if we look at my firms, you know, my retail stores make me a loss. I'm at a loss for why they make me such a loss. I should really start fixing something with regards to them. Maybe they're engaged in too much price warring, I don't know. I'll try telling Henry of Skalitz to not maximize profit, but at least strike a balance on that. Maybe he should maximize profit. I'll put him on that and see if it makes a difference. But looking at it here, yeah, the apartments make me the good money. Actually, telecom and internet companies making me the big bucks is surprising. Still though, apartments and commercial buildings are reasonable money, given that I set them up an aeon ago. To be fair, your bank funds 80% of the economy, Jake. Your stock is the economy. Yeah, and I need to tank it a little bit. So, let's make those changes and see how it affects things. Let's tell you to just maximize profit margin. I mean, the market is there. I might as well make the big money off of the goods that I produce. Is there anything else I need to concern myself with? I should take a quick look to see how supply and demand is being affected by for my products. Pretty much everything that I'm looking at here, we have plenty of product and not enough demand, so that's okay. Looks the same across all of these as well. I think the only time where I really want to take action is when demand exceeds my production. Yeah, for example, cola. Why do we not have enough cola? The manufacturing stuff is working flat out on it, except for you. The sales are not working flat out. So is this a problem with getting in a certain good? It says the supply is pretty high on all of this. These guys aren't even working flat out. And they have it backed up. I don't know why you're taking so long, or... No, no, the manufacturing is all working flat out, so maybe I need another Coca-Cola thing. Yeah, look at that. Demand is so much higher than what we're putting out in Coke. Which is strange because we're currently having a bit of a war over that one. Oh yeah, Christ, the prices I'm paying for it. That's okay though. I'm probably going to tell. Well, I just told Henry of Scallis to up the price on it, so let's see if he actually does that. Let a bit of time pass. See if he ups the price at all. 48. I'll probably lose a bit of market share on this, but as long as I make more profit on it, it should be fine. This stuff seems simple enough to set up, but with so many competitors on the map, I think there's 15 companies, things get pretty heated on the price wars and the market share wars. But that's okay. So I'm just passing time till the end of the year, and that is when it is time for elections, right? There we go. The mayor election in Lubeck, Brasilia, Chengdu, and Vancouver will take place in 1 year. Those who wish to run... yeah, run and bloody hide. Okay, so... how much do you spend in salaries and wages? Too many products in stock suggests you have too many employees or not enough stores. It's probably not enough stores. Look at how much the AI has been stomping down stores. But they're putting down stores that don't even make profits. Look at this place. It's run by Yirangu Bigpain, right here, and it just straight up loses money. Demand is rock bottom for a lot of them. It's hard to figure out how to do the shops properly. It seemed so simple at the start, put down shop, shop makes money. But then when the AI, look, he's got supermarket here, 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 and here. Where's he getting off having so many supermarkets that all run a loss? I don't understand it. Maybe e-commerce is the way forward, or maybe I need to stop my AIs from building so many buildings somehow by consuming them. In any case, once it gets to this point, I feel like I would be making a loss myself just to make my enemies have more of a loss. I do not know. There's clearly something I don't understand about selling. E-commerce might be the way forward, but I don't have the tech for e-commerce. Still, getting ahead of myself. I want to run for mayor in Brasilia and Chengdu. Now, slight problem is, Rance already has quite a lot of support and quite a lot of budget, so we need to outdo him on both these things. I'm going to put a big budget on Speed Racist and Great White Bull. There we go. Big, fat budgets behind them. Because I believe you win just based on how much money you spend on your election expenses. Now this is actually going to cost me like, what's that, 30 million a month for a year? That's a lot of money I don't have. I think it'll be worth it. So, problem is, they're going to take that money out of this fund, and if we let a few days pass by, we'll see that our fund is drying up by like $1 million a day. Scary stuff, but this is exactly what I have a subsidiary for. Plague Hearts, I demand that you shove 100 million into the pot for them. That should keep them going for about 100 days, at which point I can check and see how they are performing. Now I want to see how I am doing. Yeah. I like the way these digits flick around so much as time goes on. Yeah, my net profit after tax doesn't look too hot. Like I said, I'm gonna turn it all around. Hey, where'd all this money come from? I didn't have like 100 million before. Where did that come from? Did I get like a cash surge or something? Can't imagine where I'd get it from. Maybe at the turn of the year I got paid... here we go. The Plague Hearts paid their annual stock dividend. That'll explain why they don't have quite as much money at the start of the year as I'd like them to. I'm very proud of my bank, even though it really crippled my run. The idea that out of anything in this game I actually have huge market share in, my bank is doing well. However, I think we're a little too ethical in our bank. I think what we need to do is start focusing on the big gains. Let's play it risky. We've been playing it too safe. We need to find these C-band loans that are willing to pay us so much and get that dosh in. I know it's recession o'clock in Lubeck and Brasilia, and it's only static in Vancouver, but I reckon there's good money to be made on these people. And if I'm wrong, well, probably another fork in the timeline. The thing is, they make the losses on defaulting, but they give you so much more loan interest than the others. So very much more. And it's gone. It'll be fine. Well, it might be fine. It also might not be fine. How much are they? How much are you going to lose on those? And just watch that default rate grow and grow. It's alright, we have existing loans to these guys. It'll take a while to switch out, and I'm sure during that while, this minor recession here will pass. It's expansion time in Chengdu. Recession in Brasilia is actually potentially going to be good for me, depending on this how this goes. J-economics are a wonderful thing. Well, you know, it worked for the banks in real life. Why wouldn't it work for me? Go to these people that are going to pay so much more for their loans. It's kind of like anytime you do something that isn't on one side, you're betting against yourself, right? Why not just go straight for the ones that give the big loan interest? We'll see if that works for us. It might very well not. You should really probably pay more in. Yeah, you should pay a lot more in training budget. Keep that skill nice and high. 2008, never heard of it. Quite a few big banks and brokers went under. Yeah, but how many people got prosecuted for that? I think my odds are pretty good. Yeah, the game was going to eat into the Sabbath, but I was going to be thinking about it anyway. There was no reasonable escape. So how are we doing on? Well, actually, hey, look at that! The money's going up before it goes down. How are we doing on that political thingamajigger? We've eaten a lot of the funds here, but we've got 30% support. That's not enough to compete with Rance, but Radar Truck is kind of out of the running. They've run out of money. Hiabasa's running out as well. Once these guys have about 50%, then I don't need to worry about how much dosh they have. However, we're gonna need to make sure that we have plenty of money in here. So I'm going to force my subsidiary to donate 100 million to my own personal political party. It's things like this that make me love how this game works. Oh, something I really need to keep an eye on is my stock price. I want it to tank. Oh god, it's not tanking, it's growing. Stop growing. I want it to be low so I can buy it up. Why is it growing? Must be my amazing work on the bank. Damn it, I'm serious. I want the stock price to crash so I can buy it up. I plan to go to the moon, and I need to buy it up before the end of the year. The amount of corruption in this game is eye-wateringly realistic. Focus Profit does that, Jake. Yeah. But maybe that'll make it feel like more of a whoa, Christ! It'll make it feel like it will make it feel like more of a shift when we maximize market share now. Seriously, I need that. I need that stock price down, or else it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to buy it all back. The beauty is, this game probably has better regulations in real life in some ways, such as the loan-to-equity ration on the banks. I know you mean ratio, don't worry. Okay, I don't like this. My PE is leveled out, so people actually think this is what my stock is worth. I want it to come crashing down, because that value is way too high, and I intend on buying out every last drop of it. Why do you need the buy bank? Because my stock is going to the moon. And if I buy it out now, then it's going to stop it costing like 4 or 5 times as much later on. Okay, good. Go down, 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 you buggers. There we go. I'm thinking if it goes below 300, that's the ideal time for me to swoop in, but I might not get that lucky. I gotta find the right time between now and when I seize control of the cities. I don't think there's anything else I need to focus on during that time, so I can pretty much 100% just check my stock. Although this might be a nice opportunity to see how our competitors are getting on. They're all in the game, but I feel like we don't pay enough attention to them. Tinner and Tinner, for example, they were down and out, and yet... Remember when Tinner and Tinner stock price was, what was it, $4 each? Goodness, I'm starting to wish I'd bought them all up by now. I could have this. They're all in on insurance, and really, since I want to get into insurance, it would be very cheap to get into it if I just had them in my pocket. But I didn't. On reflection, I think when you play this game, you want to buy up as many of your competitors as possible, because they almost all seem to do very well. Very few have gone bankrupt. I'm not sure if any have gone bankrupt. The game is set to give me an alert when they do, so I can potentially buy them out. Jeff Wayne's Store of the Worlds. I'm interested in stock price. Is anybody really on the up or the down? How you doing, JC? I'm surprised that other AI banks aren't dying. You know, I've cornered the market on banks. Although maybe they're getting in on... Oh, Cribbins, look at that. FTL Enterprise, relatively late to the market. The PE ratio says that their stock is overpriced, and I'm inclined to agree. But I don't need another subsidiary, especially not one that I have to pay for. I could just make one myself. Aperture Science and Shekel Masters, those are the two big problems for me to fight against. Cock and Bulls, they've only been around for 3 short years. It's kind of a sad story for AIs that join in quite late. They struggle really hard. Of course they do, they don't have the tech, they don't have the infrastructure. It'd be nice if late joiners got to have a certain inherent amount of tech. Maybe they do and I don't know about it. Still, whoops, I'm not checking how my politics are doing. Right, great, I'm going to drop you way down. In fact, nobody's paying, so I've already invested 100 million into you. I shouldn't invest anymore. And same with you. There's no competition. I overspent on these by like probably 50 million total, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about stock. God, my own stock needs to crash more. 371 isn't good enough. Isn't low enough. 367, 365. Come on, go down, 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 down. Late joiner should have just joined earlier. 350 is good. 350 is really tempting to do the buy up. But could it go lower? The stock market is so nerve-wracking. I don't know how people can do this in real life. Maybe there are people that get their kick out of it. I mean, I get my kick out of gambling. I can see how that would be unappealing to others. But the stock market's a whole separate game. So little control out. Was that old engineer winning out on the OS market? Were you looking around here? Old engineer is on the operating systems, and I think he's the only one that has an operating system out there. If we look at his products here, computer OS, ho Christ. He makes thrice the amount I make per year just from selling his OS. He is indeed the only operating system on the market. Which means I could probably get in on that at some point. I think that software is something that you make ridiculous money on, because the markup is insane. All you need is the tech, and even if you don't have the tech, just by being a cheaper alternative you get in there. In fact, we see that ourselves. Don't we have antivirus software? Here we go. Cap King's own discount McTaffy is still sold at glorious markup, and it chomps into this, even though ours is crap. And the Aperture antivirus is so much better. Better quality, better branding, better overall. And they charge a whole lot more for it, but we still slither our way in. So this is something that we learnt by seeing others do similar things to us. We have the best... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this song, Roadhog. I'm going to remove you from my playlist. Yeah, we saw this on other things. For example, we had the best drugs around. Somebody came in with a cheaper, crapper version of the drugs, and people buy that. Makes me wonder if there's a way to make both a cheap and a good version of something yourself. I mean, I suppose you could just sell the same stuff cheaper? Nah, I'm not sure that would work. I think there's a way to customize your products and make different versions of them, but... be damned if I know how. I'd be interested in it, though. You can do that with separate factories. Yeah, I'd be tempted on doing that, making a cheap version and a good version. But then how would you make sure that your cheap version is actually... Would you just set the price to be lower? How would you work that one? Because if you don't make it cheaper, you're just leaving money on the counter, but you already have the good raw materials for it. A subsidiary focused on cheap? Now that's an idea. Don't like the idea of blending different subsidiaries into retail though, but that's just something I need to get more experience in. Still, I'm getting distracted. My focus is on my stock. Do we think it's going to go lower than 350? 350 is an uncomfortably high amount to be buying this up at. Because I'm going to be buying like 500 million, and I'm probably going to be paying $1 billion for it just to retain control. It replaces tech degradation. Well, I could always keep its tech ultra crap and never invest in tech for that company. Would cut down on the overheads there. That's an idea. Keep one that's really good and keep paying for the tech for that, and you make the money back on the markup. The illusion of choice is a real thing in retail. I don't like too much choice in retail. Okay. Why not just wait till a recession? I need to do this before I take control of the cities. I have a plan. 350. Is it going to go lower? If I buy it, it's going to go lower. It's probably best not to overthink these things. Okay, let's just do it. This is going to hurt me a lot. But I'm going to... Why do the play cards have no money to lend me? Oh, because they don't focus on lending to me. Oh, well, this has suddenly become a problem. I thought I was doing something great by shifting over to C-class loans, but of course now they got nothing to lend. Poor old me. I could buy a bit from FTL, but that's not going to be enough to cover things, right? Well. I need a fat stack of cash, and I'm not sure if bond is the best way to do it, but maybe I should just issue a bond. Paying interest on bonds blows. Can't get a lot of money out of the banks here. If I issue the bonds, well, maybe not everyone will buy my bonds. No recession like the next recession. Issue new stock to get the money. I like the way you think, but no. Okay. I guess we gotta do it this way. Unless you have somehow got loads of money on you. No, you've only got 100 million, and like I said, I probably need about $1 billion for what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to need more billions, so too bad for me. Right, we will issue some new bonds then. Doesn't need to be very long, just for a year. 1 year should do me. And I need about $1 billion probably. Double B, 4%. This will cost me 40 million, but it'll get me $1 billion, which will hopefully be enough what I want to do here. Issuing stock would work if you could transfer the money to your CEO somehow. My CEO has some money, but not enough. Right, let's do this. Very risky, because I got to pay this back in a year, but risk is what we're all about, right? And I'm pretty sure I can buy back my bonds, so let's just go for that. We issued out some bonds at a very, very good rate. If we look at the bond market ourselves, Lubeck offers better bonds, but the trouble is, if Lubeck goes bankrupt, you're not going to see that bond money back. At least I don't think you are. You'd want to... I have no idea the best bonds to be buying, honestly. Long-term, big loss if they go bankrupt. I guess that's why you'd want bonds backed by the government. Okay, time for the big buy. And I'm going to be kicking myself if my stock price crashes after this, but it probably will. Stock is never going to go the way you want it. So, my biggest problem right now is Henry of Skalitz. You own way too many shares. He wants to sell it to me for 964 per share. I gotta spend almost all of my money straight away buying it from Henry of Skalitz. I don't like that. What do these other people want to sell it for? As expected, they want to do it for double the price, but I really want to buy back my own stock, so as long as people aren't demanding stupid amounts for it, I'll take it. Still not happy with these prices, but yeah, Henry is getting too big for his britches, but I've been paying him silly amounts of money for a long time. Yeah, crikey. So 1% of my company is costing me about 40 million. And I need to buy 25% of my company. So yeah, about $1 billion was needed. I'll probably need to put out even more bonds for this. But it's probably worth it. I'm going to believe that it's worth it. Jock Dongle, give me that. At least bonds can make me some short-term lovely money. Triscay, give it to me. Is the price going down as I buy these? I swear my stock price was a little higher than that before. Right, Forever Loan. It looks like a lot of people have been getting in my stock. Let's just buy up all these small amounts that people have. Euristo's getting in on me, as expected from these politicians. Virtual Bart is willing to sell it to me for not too much. Lucky. Lucky wants ridiculous amounts per share. Okay, there's no way I'm going to have enough to buy back all my shares like this. Especially not from Henry of Skalitz. Rio Hiabasa. Oh man, bye money. This better be worth it. It's okay. I have every confidence this will be worth it. And you know, I might even be selling back my stock after this. Depends how my financial situation is, but I think we're going to the moon. There we go, got it down to just one page. How is Henry of Skalitz' stock amount growing? Maybe I should have bought his first. We used to have $1 billion this morning. Yeah, it's kind of gone now, isn't it? That's what a buyback does. What, is he getting some as well? Then I should certainly be taking it off of him because he's the one demanding it. You're lowering the total pool of shares with the buyback. Really? But he still has the same number of shares, so that's okay. It's not like his number of them's going up. It's 4, 5, 6. And if I buy this up, he still has 4, 5, 6. Okay, I thought the buyback was going back to me. Because although it says me, I don't think me as a person owns them. Although it could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I still don't understand this this well enough. You could buy as your CEO too. Buying back the shares just Vasquez them. Oh, really? Ah, well, it's a shame that I don't have them myself at all. Right, okay, so this is me personally owning them. If I sold my shares as DDR Jake would get the money. Instead, when I issue new shares, the company gets the money. Okay, I had no idea that I, as a person, owned those shares. I thought the company owned the shares in itself. Well, the more you learn. Right, let's keep on getting rid of those shares. And now the last big hurdle is Henry of Skalitz. He wants a lot of money. And that's not even for all of the shares. So if I take that, he's still got, I still need another 50 million. Alright, forget it for now. I can always take out a loan instead of doing another bond. Loans I feel like are slightly easier to get a handle on. So let's grab a bit of FTL money, go back to stock exchange and buy back all of that. Oh, that was expensive, wasn't it? But now we have 100% control of our own stock. Alright, now I'm gonna hate it if it goes to the moon, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Gotta remember, I have a bit of stock myself, don't I? The Aperture Science. Alright, no, I don't. Why does it look like I do? Okay. Here I was under the impression that I had some stock to sell. Oh, I got Shekel Master's shares as well. Might as well just hold on to those for a rainy day. Okay, it'll be great to see how you get the billion in time, says Venkos. Yeah. Don't worry, it'll be fine. See, the problem with my run-through so far is that I've been way too ethical. Ethics is a weakness when it comes to business, and we will be shedding that weakness. So, how are our people doing? 50, as long as you've got more than 50%, you're pretty much guaranteed to be in this. Now let's watch the regret as our stock price tumbles. I actually do wonder if it is going to tumble. Oh, that's right. You can get back to focusing on selling for big bucks. And there's no need to do such heavy advertising now. That was just a way for me to try and tank my stock price. Why don't we just delete you altogether and go with that? Ask... Whoa! That advertising thrust Ask Jake into the limelight. Remember when I only had 3% reach? Now I've got 24% reach. Nice. Man, we should be doing more big marketing like that. I think it even had a good effect on Twitch. If you up your investor relations, it will go up. Yeah, but there's not much need for me to be spending money on increasing share value unless I really want to be selling it. And I'm not convinced I do just yet. Yeah, but it's funny because I'm advertising my advertising firm. Oh man, the tears are falling. Tears are falling like my stock price. And that tells me the losses I've made on buying out my own stuff. It's okay though, we are going to go to the moon. Don't worry about it. Well, we'll worry about it if we somehow don't win on these elections. But we've beaten Rance and he's run out of money. And we've beat Ryu Huyabasa, they're both out of money. If you own 100% of your stock, what does stock price even matter? Really? Oh, it's below 300. I'm not sure it would have gone that low if I hadn't bought out everybody, though. I don't know. The workings of the stock market is a mystery to me. Buy the dip. Yeah, well, it's dipping hard now, but no one can buy it. I have complete control myself. But it's okay, right? The stock price was a painful thing to pay, but it's of no consequence unless I decide that I want to sell off my stock again when I think we're peaking ridiculously. As for the overall economy, Lubeck and Brazil are in recession, Chengdu is in expansion, Vancouver's in static. It's a shame about Chengdu. I was hoping I would take control of recession areas. So on reflection, I wish I'd won in Lubeck and Brasilia instead of Brasilia and Chengdu, but Brasilia should be a big win for me. Can your stock really have a price if supply is 0? It can have speculated price. Oh man, those losses on my own stock. Oh, right, there we go. I think you should find now. There we go. We've seen this before when we're piddling around with the game. I'm surprised we didn't get a notification of it. But we are now the mayor of Brazil and Chengdu. Approval rating was looking good. Do not manage media firms anymore. Now. This is where, hopefully, I turn everything around. But the problem with turning things around is you need money to make that a reality. So I'm actually going to issue another bond. Nicely though, I should be able to buy back this bond myself. So 1 year. Oh god, that's the maximum I can do. How are we doing in the... How are we doing in the bank thing? Oh, the play carts would lend me some money. I just borrow from them instead. At ridiculous interest rates. 1 billion is not really enough for what I want to do, so I will see if I couldn't go to issue another bond. So I said I wanted to get out of debt. But the best way to get out of debt is to dig yourself further into debt. At least that's what educated people have taught me. So, there we go. Let's take a stock of our situation then. We're 2 billion in debt to our bonds, paying 120 million, 120 million annual interest, on top of being let's say another 2 billion in debt in loans. So there's 4 billion in debt that I need to take care of. I feel like we've been here before, says Protozomac. Never this deep. We brought a big shovel with us. Okay. Now Casey, who I'm sure is really sad that we don't have Amayui anymore, makes an excellent point. Set your tax rate to 0 and your competitors to 1,000. Now believe me, I did have this idea. But, slight problem here, is that your mayoral policies are limited. What I could do is set corporate tax rate to be through the roof for places where my competitors exist heavily, but 40% isn't that high, so I'm probably not going to budge with that. I could also drop consumer tax rate to encourage spending, blah blah blah, also unemployment. Yeah, I think I'll pass. What's the limit on immigrants? No limit on immigrants, bring them all in. So I can set these policies, and I can get a good overview of how the city is doing, but I don't really care about that so much. There is something I do care about, and that is liquidating the amount of money the cities have into my own pocket. Now, as we can see, Brasilia have 1.2 billion, and Chengdu has 3.4 billion. And I need to scratch my head and think, how do we funnel this money from the city into the company? Because if I funneled all that money, then I would be able to pay off all my debts. Great. But paying off debts isn't good enough. So let's see what we can really do here. What we are going to do is... Where are we going to start? We'll start in Brasilia? Yeah, we'll start in Brasilia. It's in recession, so I like that. I'm going to look for a nice area on the map. The top of the map is pretty nice. This area in particular is just, delicious. What about along here? Similarly delicious. How large is this? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. Oh, it's not bad. Is this bigger though? That's like what? Ooh, yeah. I like what I see here. I like what I see right here. So we're going to use our intense mayoral powers, but first we're going to put that money of ours to use. Now if you were at the very start of the stream, what we're about to do here might look a little familiar. I'm going to get a gauge on just how much of this I can buy for myself. Now remember, my goal right now is to pay off my debts by liquidating all the money that our good friend in government has. So I took out a fat stack of cash so that I can buy up a whole chunk of this land. I think I want a bit more than that though. I think I want like 1, 2, 3 out here. Yeah, go big or go home, as some people say. And I'll be one of those people. Fun little music here. Very meaty, isn't it? Probably because it's a meaty. Alright, I'm running a little low on my dosh right now, but don't you worry. Soon the city will be taking care of that for me. Is that modest enough? No, it's still too modest. Let's grab, say, that. Nah. We still have $500 million, which we're spending $500 million. Now, I'm going to take advantage of mayoral powers here. Oh, my money goes further than I thought here. Must be because Brasilia's in recession. This land isn't worth quite so much. So, this land is all mine. That'll do for now. Now I'm going to switch to being Brazil. And we are going to demolish a lot of roads. We're going to demolish you. And we're going to demolish pretty much all of this. Because roads are land that I don't own, and I want to own it. So away it all goes. It looks like it's spelling out something. Looks like Russian. We also have a problem that there are some companies in the way, like this factory. I will move it shortly. Nice thing about factories is I think they actually lower property value. So let's continue with the big buy-up. It says help! Yeah, Brasilia is going to be desperate for help real soon. I don't think I left myself enough money. I might need to sell off a bit of what I had on the side here. Yeah, this costs a bit more than I thought. That'll be the extreme end of it. And then we switch back to buying with what we got there. So all that money, all that 4 billion gone just like that. Now, one of the powers you have as a mayor is to... Can I not destroy this thing? Might be nice to have, so I'll keep it. One of the powers you have as mayor is to point at someone who owns something and force them to move. And I believe you pay compensation based on the differing value of the land. So as long as I move them to somewhere which is just about the same value as what they had before, gathunk, I don't have to pay squat. This farm also needs to GTFO, so I'm going to move that over here. And that's just freeing up some space. Can't change anything about this mansion. Not sure I care about the R&D center. I do care about Mercury, God of Commerce's database building here. So let's just vamos. I mean, I don't really care where you go, just get out of my face. I wanted to make sure that this land is good and ready for us. So let's buy another wee chunk of it here. And there. And that little bit. Okay, so I own the land. What now? Well, now, and I hope I've spaced this out properly. Can't be 100% sure, but I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it won't. We'll soon find out. I'm going to build... Well, I'm going to sell a bit of land here. Things get a little awkward UX-wise here, but that's okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think we'll settle for that there. And there. Oh, whoa. Let's not be missing little spots here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think this is the optimum. Well, it's definitely not the optimum way to set this up. There are surely better ways. But I don't have the experience in the game to know better. This is just what I've managed to suss out as being the best. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, when we started out early on, we did a bit of real estate fraud. And this is the natural evolution of this, and I'm sure if you've got a good head on your shoulders, you already know what we're going to be doing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That should do nicely, and I'm just going to buy a little bit more out here, a little bit, and then sell little 2x2s. Uneven, uneven, Jake. Well, that's a real shame, but you're gonna have to be quiet for that. This ain't Ama Yui time, there are actually mods around for this one. And if you end up doing some autistic screeching here, it tends to get beaten down on. Yeah, I can see the unevenness there. It's okay though. Well, it's not okay, it's probably making things less efficient. But that's alright. Remember, we are here to liquidate the money that the city has. So, what is the meaning of all these spaces that I've created? Well, the city cannot build on land that I own, but they can build on land that I don't own. It's getting a little tricky telling what's me and what is the royal we, but in this case, this land can now be used by the city. It's actually owned by the city. When you buy land, you're paying the city money for the land. Conversely, when you sell land, the city is paying you. So there's not this black hole that money disappears into when you do exchanges on land. It is the city. The question is how much we care about the city. So with that tantalizing question in mind, I am going to use the city's money to boost the value of the land that I just bought. And we are going to use check the city. This is the city's treasury, not mine. And we are spending that to build up this. Now, when you build something and demolish it, that money is just gone. But that's okay if it's the city that's losing that money. In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter that much. The land is far bigger a deal. Did anyone take note of how much money we had when we started this, before I bought out all the land? It was probably about 2 billion when yeah, let's assume it was 2 billion. But if someone actually remembers the number, I'd be much obliged. So I do think this is the optimal way to lay it out, because these things have like a 4-square aura of increasing land value. I can hover over and see what we're doing around here. So we got this big wedge of land between them, and it's going up from anything from like 111% increase. Yeah, some of it's about 50%, some of it's even as low as 30%, these bits in the center here. But it's all going up. It's going up a hell of a lot. So, that is thanks to these government-owned buildings. And that government-owned is a very important part of it. We're not looking at my amount of money right now, this is the government's money. I haven't doubled squat, in fact I've spent all my money. And that could start being a problem soon. I wonder if that tennis court helps with the value at all. I'm not entirely convinced it helps much, but if I look at the same area, say here, yeah, I don't really see an increase, maybe it's not worth our time. So the government has just put down all these lovely buildings for people to live and work in. Good for them. Now I shall turn around and, with this increased value, immediately say that the government can have it back. Well, have it back. The government can pay me for the privilege of getting their own land back. And when you're dealing with me, that really is quite a privilege. Thank goodness they added this big bulk way of deleting or selling your land. I know it had to be done one by one in the olden days. So remember, we came into this with what, how much was it? About 4 billion or so? No, 2 billion with the 4 billion in debt. And by selling all this land back to the nice city, we suddenly have 3 billion. So we made about $1 billion off of that. The city, on the other hand, has lost all that money. And to make matters somewhat worse, I'm going to be deleting this from what the city has. So the city's not going to be feeling very good. But don't worry, we're not done yet. Oh, we are not done yet. Like I said, I'm abandoning ethics. What I've done right now has really been a service to humanity. We'll be doing services against humanity. No. Christ, get me away from that. Forget it. I need to go to this and demolish it. So what we're now doing is we're taking all those big building projects that the government did for the benefit of my land value and immediately crushing them. Just taking the bulldozer, ripping right through them. No ifs, no buts, no candy, certainly no nuts. Now I have a 3-step program in mind here. This is the first of the 3 steps, and this is for Brasilia. Chengdu has a much bigger budget, so I'm sure you know what that's going to mean. They had the wrong cladding, gotta tell you. There's someone I know actually who was all ready to move into a new building, and they said, oh, they had the wrong kind of cladding, so they gotta change it. Man, that, what was that fire called again? I forget the name of it. It has a name though. Big fire, probably in London, so it doesn't matter. But it certainly matters for people that are... Oh, crumbs! I missed a spot. Oh well, that was like a couple million. It's not mine. So notice that the city isn't getting this money back at all. The city has just spent all this money and has nothing to show for it. But don't worry, they will soon. Greenfeld, thank you, it was Greenfeld. To those who are not in the know, there was a big fire in an apartment building called Greenfeld, and big investigation said, ooh, the way they do their cladding just allows fire to spread like crazy, because official advice is if there's a fire in this apartment building, just stay indoors. The apartment buildings are isolated, so they're not at risk of fire. Just do these safety procedures and wait for emergency services. No, they burned to death horribly inside those apartments. But well, there are many more flammable things one could say about the incident, but this is not the place to be saying them. But they are quite funny. Okay, right, enough laughing at the loss of life in the real world. Let's laugh at the loss of life in this game. So what have we done? We have managed to liquidate, well, money that the city didn't even have and put it into our own pockets. Wonderful. Also, anybody who had, say, bought... Well, did Brasilia actually have any bonds? I think we can check that. Brasilia bonds... Brasilia is almost certainly going to go bankrupt, and anybody who bought these bonds is in for a bad time. If we look over at the bond market, Brasilia's bonds are owned by Initiatech and Cerberus. Also, Tinner & Tinner's insurance company and Initiatech insurance company have bought these bonds. That's probably not good news for them, because I don't think Brasilia is going to be able to pay these off. And I don't think Brasilia is going to have a AAA credit rating by the end of the day. But we're not done yet, right? What we've just done is surface level stuff, okay? Big real estate fraud with the government, child's play. The real win is what we do with this money. Now, we're going to use this to check what the government owns in the city. We are going to specifically look for government-held apartments, not the ones that we just bulldozed. And we want to look in this city. The government owns 42 apartment buildings. Now, one of the big problems of building apartment buildings yourself is that there's this long period, years, sometimes decades. Okay, decades might be a bit much, but I suppose it could happen. Yeah, I mean, I built these apartments right at the start of the game. They're only at 80% occupancy rate. All the time where it's below half, you're shedding money. The government builds the buildings. Some of them already exist and are already completely full of people. But even if not, if they build a fresh new apartment building, the government absorbs the cost. And it is real cost to them until it fills up and becomes profitable. Now, what if we were to take the... It's like buying fruit, right? You can buy these seeds and eventually grow to have a tree that produces you fruit. But, you know, you gotta water it, take care of it, and I'm still charging you for the seeds. Or, I can give you this tree that's already fully grown and producing lovely fruit for you to gobble at your heart's content. And if it's the same price for both, of course I'm going to take the tree that's already made. I might just uproot it and put it somewhere better. But the analogy starts to fall apart at that point. The point is, government owns these, and since I just put the government in a horrible state, the government is almost $1 billion in debt, I know what that feels like. It's a recession, and the recession's pretty key. Recession's going to drop the price of these. I'm suddenly, as the mayor, making the executive decision the government needs to cut costs. We're going to privatize the apartments. And who better to privatize than the company owned by the politicians that run the mayoral house? And that would be, oh, look, it's me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gobble up the... You just created Turkey, Jake, did you know that? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to come in and pay with the government's own money, not actually their own money, but the money I just made off of them selling their own land back to them, and I'm going to buy all of their apartments. Every single one of them, because I don't have a good reason not to. I suppose if I found one that wasn't full at all, then it wouldn't be a good idea. But the government generally builds them in good areas because the government already owns the land. They don't need to pay land, or rather, they don't need to pay land cost to build an apartment in a really good location. I would. So, we're going to go around and buy these apartments. Now, this is going to cut into that money that I raised for myself, but the end result is me owning a whole lot of immediately profitable real estate. But there's a little problem with that, and we'll get to that shortly. You can see over here the number of apartment buildings that the government owns themselves, and I'm just coming in and scooping them all up. I'm not exactly scooping them up at knockoff rates, right? This is pretty cheap to pay for a good apartment in a good location, but it's still a fair market rate. I can't drop that rate any further than I have, I don't think. We're in recession, which lowers land price. I don't think there's anything else I can do to make these cheaper for me to buy. Now, I could say I'll pay less, but I think the game is wise to my ways and it will not allow me to set my price to nothing to sell to myself. But that's okay. That is okay. I do wish there were more hotkeys for this, but I don't think there are. There's no hotkey for sale, there's no hotkey to buy. Kinda wish there was a Factorio devs level of love put into this game. There's certainly a lot of love put into it, but maybe putting a bit more elbow grease behind that love. You guys should know that I'm actually autistic, so any screeching I do is autistic screeching. Yes, well, that's all the more reason that you need to be put down for it. You need to learn. I'm not going to wrap you up in cotton wool just because of your problems. Right, problems. That's certainly what I'm giving the government here. But this money is actually going to them. Once we finish up, and I have 17 more of these to buy... Well, we're going to see what more we can do with this, because... Although, what did I say? I said this was a 3 or 4 step program? Might turn into a 5-step program, we'll see. Depends the state of Brasilia after this. Do we have any Brazilians that could tell us the state of Brasilia? What is it like there? I just like to use the name because I find it funny that a place in Brazil would be called Brasilia. It would be like having a town in Scotland called Scotland. It'd be ridiculous, no one would take it seriously. Then again, I've been to a place called Cravendale. I think it was called John's Cravendale. Last 2. And final one. There we go. So, as a company, I just spent 1 billion acquiring 40 very well placed and immediately profitable apartments. And on top of that, I own the land, so if I were to tear this down and build a better apartment on top of it, I'd still own the land, I'd only have to pay the cost of the new apartment. So that's pretty good, and yes, Cravendale is a milk brand, so fresh, the cows want it back. Had a really good advertising campaign with cows infiltrating, I think they were like Splinter Cell spies, or climbing up on window washer things, going into buildings, trying to get their milk back. It was very funny. The fact that it's still in my head tells me how effective it was. So I've managed to give Brasilia a fair chunk of its money back. They might not go bankrupt anymore. So I need to think what I can do with that money. I think we'll do that after I do a similar thing over in Chengdu. The nice thing about Chengdu is they have a lot more money to hand over to me. Yeah, they got 3.4 billion. And we're going to do much the same with that, with this place. So if you just saw that and you don't want to see it again, go and make yourself a cup of tea. However, I need to find a good place to do that in Chengdu. I'm just getting the similar parts done so that when I do the next step, I'm not going to have to come back on myself here. I think this might be the best location for it, and even then it's not great. Well, I might have to make do with not great. Yeah, there's a mansion in the way, there's a factory in the way, and the road layout here isn't great. But I think this is the clearest area I have for my my endeavors. So we have 1, 2, 3, a road, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 road. Wouldn't come out more than that. There's not too much to move around. All right, we'll make do with this. So we're going to demolish these roads because I don't like them. How far down are we going to do it? Probably about to here. I don't know how much roads cost, but it's probably insignificant. And I also need to move some things away. So let's come out of that. Relocate this factory to... well, actually... There's something to be said for buying the land while the factories are still here, because I think they lower the cost, but I think it's relatively insignificant, so I'll just make them go away. Just all this stuff, relocate. I just gotta pay for the cost of shifting it over. I don't even need to pay them much compensation. And given the billions that the city has, this is no big deal. So again, just relocate you down into this little corner. Chengdu has so much money that I might want to do this multiple times, we'll see. Yeah, Brasilia I thought had good money, but Chengdu's got the real money. I'm sure I'm going to want to move this farm, so I'll move it for now. This is a lovely thing. I'm glad the AI doesn't do it to me, but just going up to a company saying, yeah, see your well-established farm, it's got to move. New due processes, you know what it's like. Would be profitable for a company to have it moved. And before you get any ideas, I'm pretty sure I can't do this to my own buildings. Oh my god, Nick Brick owns this mansion. But I can't tell Nick Brick to move it. I mean, I could move the supermarket, but not Nick Brick's. Let's try bank, for example. If I wanted to move it, yeah, I'd have to do it to my own, myself, which is not how I'm planning on doing it. Right, let's do the setup for this then. I want myself a lovely road. And I want the road somewhere like here. Yeah, because I want 3 out in that direction. Oh, I think you can only build a road from an existing road. Which makes it all the better to do it from this side, I suppose. Yeah, that gets 3 on that side, so over we go. And then... how much is it to build a road, by the way? It's not even $1 million per square, so it's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, I lost count, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over to here. I think that's right. Right? 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, forgive my hesitance here, I'm really bad at this sort of thing. You'd think after playing... hang on, is 4 the right number? No, it's not at all the right number. Because the aura of 4 goes out a little differently. I want it further out. I want it like 2 more out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give it another 2, say. Put it out here. Can't get too greedy, right? Too greedy. What is even that? I want to get rid of these roads getting in my way. I'm not entirely convinced road layout matters at all. Every business needs to be adjacent to a road, but I think once you get to a certain point the game turns into a city builder with how you can do this, especially if you own your own city and you get that 5 years of being the only one able to build in it. In any case, this is a good enough area to start with, so let's switch back to ourselves. And now we have, well, we've got the same amount of money to play with actually. We broke even on our, shall we say, misgivings in Brasilia. So we're going to do much the same here and buy all this land for ourselves. Wasn't it 30 years? 30? I thought it was 5. You could be right. I haven't ever owned my own city in this game, so I could be pulling it out my rear end. By the way, are you a full-time streamer these days, Jake, or just studying or side gig too? You know, when I introduce myself to new people in the real meat sphere, They often say, oh, so are you studying here? I mean, are they looking at me thinking I'm like 18 years old or something? The males in my family age at a slower rate than normal, but still, come on, I'm not as baby-faced as I once was, surely. But no, I'm not studying. Streaming full-time is my gig, and long may it be that way. It was an unexpected twist in my life, but a very welcome one. The idea that I could turn my favourite thing in the world... Are video games my favourite thing in the world? That sounds a bit OTT. Wow, I didn't space this out well at all, did I? This is much more compact. Well, whatever, let's see how it does profit-wise. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, this is much tighter than the last batch we had. This is actually going to cut into my profit margins. It was a bad move. Don't know what I was thinking. I obviously didn't count right. There should be a gap of like 8, well maybe not 8, but 6 or more between them. 6 or 7 would be ideal. But I didn't do that. 1, 2. That'll do there. Generally these things exert an aura of 4 around them for increasing market value, but only if they have other buildings nearby. I don't fully understand how it works, truth be told, for how it raises market value for everything around it. I just know that it does, but it needs another building to be a yin to its yang, and I find apartment buildings the most effective for that. This all came about out of desperation, by the way. When I realized that I was actually terrible at this game, instead of, you know, putting in some time figuring out how to best sell goods, I just went, okay, what can I make the easy money out of in this game? And there are certain things you look for when you try to find a system that can be exploited like that. And one thing is immediate change that you see. So if you do X and you immediately see Y, that's great, because that's something that can be manipulated in stasis, and then you see how it works with other things around it. Somebody earlier said you can take Jake out of QA, but you can't take the QA out of Jake. Might not be too wrong with that. Okay, so I've made up the space, and once again, Brasilia is going to do me a real solid. Again, you've seen this before, so if you don't want to just see it again, I highly recommend either skipping forward in this video if you're in the future, or if you're in the not too shabby present, go make yourself a cup of tea. I could go for a cup of tea, actually. I haven't had one in months. Maybe once I'm done here. This is my day off. I can do everything how I want to do it. Unfortunately, what I want to do isn't terribly exciting. I want to go and take out the recycling. I want to catch up on Heldon's run of The Worst Shepherd and Mass Effect. Mass Effect's really good. I don't think I'll ever play it though. It doesn't look very good as a game, but it's a very good story, and the story is all about the characters, and the characters are great. So there we go, that barely took a bite out of the amount of money that Chengdu has, but the real bite comes here, where I sell the land. Again, looking at the land, holy moly, some of it's gone up a whole lot more than we saw in... It might be better to do it denser like this. Look at that, we're getting an increase of 200% on some of this. We came in here with $2 billion. Let's see how much we walk out with for now. There's a whole lot more of Chengdu. There's a whole lot more Chengdu money that belongs to me. Also, I have figured out what perfection would be in this game, and I think we're going to have a perfect run of this coming as a future challenge once I've done some other runs. Perfection in my eyes would be elimination of all competition in this game. And that seems rather difficult because whenever a company goes out of the game, it gets replaced by another one. And many things in this game are just straight up profitable, so it's kind of hard to just remove something, because they can even cut into your existing market with a crappy, cheaper product and eat away at what you make to their benefit. Okay, so once again, we're going to crush all these things down. This is a bit of micro. I would really rather find a way that I didn't have to do this. But I have to demolish them, and this is demolishing to the cost of the government, and this is going to cost them a few $100 million. Which is a shame, because that's a few $100 million that I'm not liquidating myself. Must be a better way to do this. but I found something that worked and I wasn't going to spend further time refining it. I was playing around with this a bit. It seems like the 4 square radius overlaps. Yeah, it does. The question is finding the point at which it overlaps to make you more money than not. But actually, I think the spacing was actually quite good. I wouldn't have had the money to take over much more land anyway, unless I wanted to do more bonds. And I suppose at this point, since everything I'm doing is paused, I could take out all the bonds possible, which would probably be about, I don't know, $10 billion, and do this on a much larger scale. But I'd rather have this controlled, in a controlled manner in case I mess it up. Oh, this game could well go for just a demolishing tool. Just click, drag, delete everything like I'm playing Caesar 3. But it's not that kind of game. Although this game has good city building elements, it's not a city builder. Is it? You know, you could even say that the DLC is a city building DLC. I'm playing with the City Economic Simulation DLC. I'm playing with all the DLC actually, but the City Economic Simulation. If you want some more city building in your game, that's going to add the most for you. I feel really bad demolishing all of these. It's just throwing money away. Every apartment costs 7 million, every commercial building costs 20-something million. But I can't think of a way to liquidate the money from Chengdu better than this. And in the end, I only liquidated... Actually, I liquidated more than I thought, didn't I? Chengdu had... How much did they have? Oh, they had more than 1 billion. Mind you, I didn't have 3 billion, did I? Still, we are almost certainly going to do that again. But for now, I want to buy those apartments. Don't want to buy them now, though. They're going to be expensive. No, I should do the land again. This is regrettable to just do the same thing again, but the reason I'm doing this is because I made a big mistake. I played really poorly, and that put me into a position where I had to find a way to dig my way out. And my best idea for digging my way out that I could see was to loot the coffers of every city. I'm hoping, well, I intend on future playthroughs to never do this trick with real estate again, because my intention is that I will be considerably better at the game by then, after the lessons that I learned from this. You know, lessons like do not get into the banking market during a global recession, and if you make such a mistake, don't keep pouring money on that bank, because it's only going to make your life harder. I should have focused on getting high quality other goods to sell. Then again, is that really true? Thinking about it a bit more, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Thinking about it a little more. Come on, Jake, you can do the thinking. Work on it. Use your head. I feel like I'm misselling the fact that I thought about it. This happens when streaming. Sometimes the brain just completely shuts down. The train of thought derails. What was I even saying? Yeah, thinking about it, the products that I did invest into aren't really making me the money anymore. But that's because I didn't stay on top of the growing competition. The problem is I don't really know how. How do I combat an AI who is spamming stores everywhere with their inferior product? I guess it's a real world problem that companies have, right? I've made an amazing local product. It's great. People are happy to pay the price that I set for it. And then suddenly, Zhuge Liang's discount retail store down the road is selling cheap Chinesium imports at a fraction of the price, and I can't keep up with that. He's eating into what I produce. So do I cut my prices? Well, I'm going to lose out money that way. Do I maintain my price? My market share is going to drop. Fewer people are going to want to buy it. I'm not sure it's even a problem that's been solved. How do you handle somebody coming in with a cheap, inferior product? Maybe that's something the world is figuring out right now. So right now, Chengdu have a lot more money because I bought all this land off of them. And now it's time to do it again. I'm actually hoping that I don't need to do this for the other cities. It might be that their coffers are too irresistible to plunder. I certainly want to buy up all the apartments in the other places, but doing this, I mean, it's tedious. doing it a couple times, haha, yes, taking away their money. But the action of putting this down ain't right. That's why I said this is probably the last campaign that well, the only campaign I do where I use this, dare I say, trick. Not to mention, I'm told that the focus on the next expansion for this game is going to be on real estate, which excites me. The real estate, the way real estate works in this game is exciting to me. Still going to demolish these once I'm done with it, which is a straight up loss for the government, but I don't want the government to have more buildings that I would have to then worry about taking over later. I want to dominate all of the apartments in the world, because real estate just seems like a great way to passively make money without having to think about things. So as we can see, once again, the value has gone up as it did before, and now it's time to take that money off the government. Unless I forgot about doing something here, which is always possible. I'm good at many things. One of those things is forgetting. Enforce protectionism. Yeah, but what if you wanted to do it in a strictly free market? I don't know. I don't have economic answers. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Did I play this yesterday? After the weekly one-shot? No, I didn't. I was saved that fate because Dark Young went and streamed. But the day before that, what was the question I asked? What if I IPO my subsidiary and buy up all the shares myself? And somebody burst out laughing to that, and they had every right to do so. Right, we've made money to pay off all of our debts, which is a good start. And yeah, the city of Chengdu isn't looking so hot, but they're about to look a lot hotter. We're going to balance out our money big time. First thing you need to do, though, is demolish all these. I'm going to have a little bit of a problem if I come out of this and not able to pay off my debts. A little bit of a problem, though. I have potential solutions to this. But remember, paying off my debts and securing my own stocks were two of the things that I wanted to do. And being able to turn the situation around in a year works out well for me. Hilariously enough, I wouldn't be able to do this over and over again because I've just sacked the treasury. So what happens when a city goes bankrupt is that the mayor is forced to resign. That's us, by the way. And, well, it's one of our party members, but it might as well be us. Then the city gets a central government bailout. I don't know how much it is. And then they have to keep going. But my hope is that because I'm ripping out all of the rent from the city is going to be in a bankruptcy spiral. Which means the other guy will be forced to resign, and maybe we will be able to get straight in again. Now, being in charge, I imagine, gives us certain powers that I want to be able to use. If I see a particularly... I missed another one. There's still a markup on it, but just 1%. What I should be doing is pressing Ctrl-C, and then seeing if I missed a spot. This is one of the big reasons why when I have a city building game, I like to build buildings that don't reach up into the sky. It ruins the sky view, sure, but it also ruins the top-down view. You can't see what's behind it. There's some really interesting Factorio blog posts about their perspective choice, and I agree entirely. The corruption on display here is impressive. We have not begun! This is just me getting my capital. The real question is what we do with the capital. Maybe someone can guess what we're going to do with the capital. Be sure to ping me with DDR Jake. It's a lot easier to read things in chat that pop up in red for me. On January the 8th, 2 cities declared bankruptcy for no reason at all. Just max tax retailers bleed the competition. I'm going to be sacked when the place goes bankrupt, so it's not like I'll be able to retain control of that. Anyway, occupancy rate 0%. I don't think I'd want that, because I'd be paying for a whole lot of not much. Also, it's neck deep in Factoryville. I should force the government to just tear this down. I don't like this building. I mean, how much would it cost? 33 million. Couldn't I build that for a lot better? If it were just me and I had to build an apartment, what kind of apartment is it? That kind? It would cost me less than that to build it here. Don't know where the government gets off thinking it can have 0 occupancy rate buildings like that. That's not for sale, that's just getting torn down. But if it has full occupancy, it's now mine. Remember, a big reason that I'm buying these is that I don't have to go through the unprofitable phase of a new build. It's very disheartening to build up a lot of apartments only to find that they make a loss for you because you have to wait a while for people to move in, and the rate at which people move in is really slow. I think even in ideal circumstances, it's about 1% growth, 1 flat percent growth per month. Could be wrong though, haven't analysed it enough. This game is kind of consuming all of my grey matter, and you know what? It's free to do so. It's a brilliant game. You end up feeling the aches and pains of the game's limitations the more you play it, but that's how it goes. Are you going to pay your debtors before they get arrested for debt evasion? Absolutely. I don't even intend on paying out a single penny on my bonds. I'm going to buy them back. I do not like the idea of paying interest on my bonds, but since I haven't advanced any time between putting them out and demolishing the city's finances, the various cities' finances, I should still be able to buy them up myself and remove the bond. But I need the cash inflow for what I'm doing here, which is of course buying up these apartments. I hope I'm not accidentally buying one that has low occupancy rate. Even if I do though, the money is going to be the loss is going to be absorbed by the profitable ones that I am buying up. Still got that 4 billion, although we still have another 10 of these to buy, which is only going to be about $500 million at worst. Also have to make sure I don't accidentally put one of my own places for sale, but I think I'd get a pop-up alert. Aha! Oh, and you're wise beyond your years. But now that we have it, it's time to do it. So this is going to hurt my real estate situation in Vancouver and Lubeck, but I think it'll be worth it. We're going to go to our headquarters, and now that we own, just about all of the apartments in Brasilia and Chengdu, which, might I add, have the best real wage rate. Well, the thing about a best real wage rate is they really need to give something back to the people that make it all possible for them to live. So we are going to go to our real estate department and say that they now owe us approximately all of the money. Yeah, all of the money. Every last drop of it. So whatever they were paying us before has now gone up massively. Even, oh man, where's a half-decent looking apartment that we see here? This one here. Annual rent per square foot. I don't know how big a square foot is, but that seems like a lot to be paying for it. So that should be making us a decent dosh. If the cities can still take out loans, you can max out their loans with competitor banks. Max out your loans with those banks. The cities default their loans. If they're big enough to bankrupt the banks, you get to keep the money, borrowed money. I thought borrowed money becomes still this money that you owe. I haven't tried that, but I won't try it just now. Old renters won't pay the new price, says Chosrau. And where else are they going to go? Granted, they could emigrate, but good luck to them. The AI has not gotten big into apartments. So. We can actually look at that, can't we? If we go to... what would it be? Firms, apartments, and then we see... Okay, let's take Brasilia, for example. None of my opponents hold any apartments. I hold literally all of them. You want to live in my apartments? You pay my rent. What about Brasilia? Wait, Brasilia is what I was looking at, right? Chengdu, then. Does the AI just not go into real estate? Free city? You could freely leave. I mean as in won't have to. Only new renters have to pay the updated price. Really? That doesn't seem right. Well, I'm sure they'll eventually die and have to pay the new rate. Wait, why in the world would it not update their existing price? Ah well, we'll see. We'll still have the rate set at that. Besides, I intend on building up some more apartments so that nobody else gets in on that, like more of the government. Okay, how is... Well, Brasilia has a bit of money. Chengdu have not got money. I thought they would have some money after what I just did for them. They're looking okay. Right, I have an idea. It's, so, buying up all the... Liquidating the money that the cities had was one thing. Buying out their apartments was the other. But there's another thing I wanted to do. I said I wanted to break into a new business, and I want that business to be insurance. I want to be able to commit mass insurance fraud. So we're going to go to Lubeck, and I'm going to be the one managing this. I don't think I'll even let Henry of Skalitz get in on this. I want to build up my banking insurance headquarter right here next to the bank HQ. Makes sense. I think you do advertising on a per branch thinger, but I still think I'll maintain control of those myself. Now, Brasilia. The problem is, if we look at... I should go back to this and look at competition. Competition. I thought there was something here for competition. Or does only banks have... Yeah, banks have competition. Give me this for insurance. Oh, I was on competition. Tinner and Tinner, Initiatech and Aperture Science. They have a bunch of offices. Doesn't tell me exactly where, but that's why we have some good filtering here. In Brasilia, I wish to find firms of insurance. Front offices. Not my firms. So there are 5 of them here. Let's check it out. We have Aperture, Tinner and Tinner, Initiatech. It's probably not Initiatech, is it? It's Initech. I'm probably still going to call it Initiatech. Better name. So Tinner and Tinner and Aperture here. What if they weren't here? Fortunately, as the mayor, at least until we declare bankruptcy in a few days, we can tell them that their nicely located branch isn't allowed to be there. It has to go, oh, I don't know, here, right? You'll get plenty of customers if we just locate you over there. Thank you kindly, away you go. Same for you, lovely looking insurance office held by Aperture. You are also going to be going down here. And I'm going to have you next to each other so that you, what little business you get there, you end up cannibalizing off of each other. And Tinner and Tinner, I feel kind of bad for Tinner and Tinner here. They did so miserably at the start of the game, and yet they've somehow managed to make a profitable business. And I'm just coming in telling them, nah, not allowed to anymore. You again, off you trot. There we go, so that should be all 5 of them over here. Yep, now that means that I need to come in like a storm and build up my own ones. So it's nice that you can just tab between playing as the city and playing as yourself. You can see it at the bottom here, this little... What even... Is that like some kind of state building there, the one with a dome? If that's highlighted, I am playing as the mayor. If I hit tab and we've got this, I'm playing as my company, and I can also change which company I play as. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Playing as myself, I now want to open up some insurance fronts. Maybe we shouldn't be calling it a front when we talk about our insurance, but still, I'm just going to slam these down in the city. Hard to find the best places for them. I mean, I suppose where I ripped those existing ones out of would be a good start. But I can't really remember where they were. And they weren't necessarily having the best customer traffic index. I'll still put them down wherever makes sense. How many have I put down so far? Let's say that's 3. Yeah, that must be 3, because it says 3 in the name. 4. I think I'll go for 5 per area. Dominate it like we dominated banking. In fact, I can even have it next to my bank. How lovely. So Brasilia's getting that, and Chengdu, we're going to give them a similar whooping. There are 5 of them. Where are we going to relocate them to? We can give them a lovely storefront view, next to the golf course even. So they can go golfing between doing all that business that they won't be able to do. Now again... Oh, well, let's make sure we're in city mode. I'm not sure if it matters. So, problem. I cannot pay the compensation to move these people. But I can lend the city some money by buying out a bunch of land. Well, let's give them like a few million here. Funny thing is, the city is forced to buy my land. So I'm just giving that as a wee loan. I'm not going to make money off of this, but it's to ensure that they're able to move things. So I'm going to relocate you to... There's not quite enough room to squeeze you in there. I don't want to give you the edge like that. Like I said, we'll give you the waterfront location. Over you go. Another one for Initiative. Well, this is what you get, Wolf, for giving me such a hard time. And for being there at all in Stronghold 3. Stronghold 3 was a miserable game to play, but it was... It wasn't... It was like watching a really bad movie. Like a really, really bad movie that's so bad it's good. I'm not saying Stronghold 3 was so bad that it's good, but at least it had that little bit of appeal to it. I've played far less enjoyable games, put it that way. It leaves an impression, doesn't it? There you go, go and sell insurance to the high school kids. Can you even get insurance as a high schooler? Is this one of the things that has minimum age on it? Surely not. I mean, if you were a child actor, for example, you'd probably want insurance on yourself. Alright, there we go, and now I'm going to build up my own insurance as my own company. Let's also not forget to sell that land. And now, for sure, yeah, for absolute sure, Chengdu is going out of business. Right, let's get to it then. Chicken Fuzznuts has just joined in and says good morning. Well, could you move the buildings next to your land and sell it for higher? Probably could have, Red Corolla. We'll try that next time. It would probably be a drop in the ocean compared to what I had before. Probably going to be confusing for people that are just joining in at this stage in the game, because they'll be like, why does Jake have money? Things looked so terrible last time. Well, we've yet to see that we've managed to turn things around, but at least I should come out of this almost debt-free. I think I'll still have some lingering debt. But hopefully the profits that I make on all of those apartments speaks for itself. Where do I want to put these down? It's so hard to find the right places to put things for customer traffic index. There's one thing I really hope they improve in the next expansion. It's just being able to see where you can get consumer traffic index. Consumer, customer, whatever. Put down and people come spaces. I mean, look at that. That's 21, but it looks like it should be great, right? There's apartments here, mansion, stores, but... And then this is 39. I don't know how it all works, but I take it. Big blank area here. Wonder what's up with that. That's 33, which seems okay, but come on, there's got to be bigger amounts. This is only 12. Maybe it's strictly how close you are to apartments or commercial areas. At that point, why not put them next to my existing ones? Yeah, it's like 45 here. Oh, well, I've already put one there, haven't I? I don't know how close things have to be before they truly get cannibalized. The thing is, I own a lot of apartments now, so anywhere is going to be good, right? But I like these little things that I've made previous. Somebody likes them as well. They put their mansion out there. I think I've only put down 2. Come on, quit fussing, start mussing. Or start hustling. Easier said than done. I see a value of 24 and I think, wow, that's pathetic. We can do a lot better than that. Alright, there we go. I think that's the 3rd one I put down here. That's 8, 9. I want another one. I wanted 5 per area, 5 per place, I think. You can move someone for a better spot. You're right, I could just tell someone to get out of my way and take their spot. In fact, why don't we do that? Let's find somewhere like around here that has 60, 80? 84? Whoa, well, that's on my own apartment, isn't it? However, look at this well-placed supermarket, which, come to think of it, is actively driving that up. There's a fire station here. I wonder if we could just not have this fire station. It's taking up valuable land for me. Let's just move that fire station a wee bit away. Maybe over to where all my apartments are. Didn't I buy a dense amount of apartments somewhere? Or are they more... No, I think they were denser in another place. All these government-owned buildings. Sadly, I don't think I can buy all of them. Where are all my apartments? I feel like there should be a lot more sad silver surfers on the map. Oh right, I press Control C to remove them, of course. There we go, there's all my apartments. This is a nice dense area for it. The government doesn't have enough cash, right? I need to give them another quick loan of dosh. About 100 mil. So again, we come here and I just say... There's your 100 mil. And what was it I wanted to move? This fire station, right? This fire station. We're going to relocate it over to one of our many apartments. This is a nice area in general, so here you go. And I want the money back for my land again. God, the corruption of city management feels really good. Really, really good, I gotta say. It kind of feels like a game that's designed to be exploited, and that speaks to me in a number of very nice ways. Anyway, I can finally put down my last office frontier, right? What do you mean land is unavailable? Am I looking in the wrong place or something? I am. It was over here. Customer traffic index went way down. But hey, it's my... Oh Christ, it's right next to one I already have. And another one I already have. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Alright, just relocate it then. What a mistake on my end that was. Didn't even pay attention to the fact that there was another one right there. And it's really hard to find the right places to put things down. I guess I'll make do with the 24 around here, even though that's not great. Commercial building right there, though. Well, there we go. That's my 10. Right into a recession, but surely that's where everyone would want interest, right? Now I can come away from being mayor, because I think I've done all of my dirty things that I want to do here. I moved my competitors, I bought out the land, and as a company, I really want to pay off those stocks, those bonds immediately. I actually don't have that much in way of loan, only 2 billion, but those bonds I put out... I can look at, yeah, 2 billion of bonds, those have got to go, because I don't want to pay the... Actually, the 4% interest in those bonds isn't so bad compared to what I'm doing with the banks. I should probably prioritize taking care of my high interest loans over that. Yeah, oh Christ, yes, like an 11% loan. Right, let's repay that loan first then. Such refinancing. Let's repay you as well. And now we've got this 5% loan. And I need to locate and buy up my 8.25% bond. So I want to go bond market. I need to buy the Cap King 8.25. Okay, nobody... It's all held by the public. Tinner and Tinner actually bought up my latest ones. Good for them. Bonds are supposed to be safer and lower percentage than loans, at least in theory. Well, when you've got these C credit raters around here, how can you really be sure? So Cap King is going to buy all of that bond back. You've bought all outstanding issues of your bond. The bond is thus removed from market. I only pay 4% on that. It's probably better to pay off my existing loan. But I do want to keep some money in the bank. 4% on that. What's my existing loan? 5.6%. And I have the money to pay it off. I might need to take out another loan to pay off my bond, but then maybe it's better just to keep this. Because as loans go, it's a good rate. I don't know. Part of me just hates having bonds out in general, so I'm going to buy back this bond at least as much as possible. So my question would be, how much do I buy the bond off of others? Can you even offer to buy bonds off of others? Oh, damn. This guy, the Tinner and Tinner, ended up buying way too much of my bonds for me to be happy. Still, even with all that said and done, we managed to acquire a lot of apartments. The one thing I forgot to check was government-held commercial buildings. Those make even more money. I can't believe I forgot that. Corporation, government, firm, commercial, 5 in Brasilia, 5 in Chengdu. They're not great, but if they have good occupancy rate, I certainly want it. How much can I buy them for? A reasonable amount. What about newspapers and radios while you're at it? Those are going to fall to the new wave of the internet. I think they're a pretty poor investment. Yeah, I guess I'll buy them out. I'll get a straight profit on this as well, so let's just... Oh god, it's eating into my money. Starting to wish I hadn't paid off all that loan and stuff, but okay. Now what I really want to do as well is to build up more apartments and office space such that the government doesn't end up building them. And I need to stay on top of those. Even if I really dilute the market, the profits made from the existing profitable ones should offset the losses and then some. Here we go, Brasilia. Gimme, gimme. Oh, goodbye my money. Are you sure that only new renters pay my new rate of rent? That's absurd. How do you end up increasing rent then? Would you have to demolish them and make new ones? Then you're going to take forever to move new people in. Maybe it's to stop this kind of exploitation. Okay, that was good. I almost forgot about the commercial buildings and I almost forgot about owning money. I forgot if you tried it last time, but can cities sell their ports? No. I cannot relocate them, I cannot sell them. I also cannot find a way to make them appear on the map again. Even if I load into a new game that does show them, I load up this and it looks like this. And I think I've hit every key on my keyboard and not managed to make them show again. If you know a hotkey to make the seaports appear again, I'd like to know it, because I kind of like seeing them on the map. Okay, I've done a lot of horrible things to government, and I might not even get fired that quickly. Depends how the government does for this. I'm going to make a save here after all that hard work. We're going to be Longplay 011. I am almost debt free, which feels good. I mean, my only bonds out there are... I only have 200 million in bonds and 1 billion in loan, and I'm sure I'll be able to take care of that. And that loan's at a respectable interest rate. I wonder what the Plague Hearts Bank is doing. It's going to be really funny if me setting them to only sell to crappy lenders is going to hurt them really badly. I mean, sure, that looks bad on the defaulting, but think of the money they make. Think of the money they will make when they shift over to that. Okay. Let's continue on with the game a little bit. Let time pass. Hopefully make fat stacks of cash. And, oh, right, no, don't do that. I forgot something. I forgot something very important. My firms, corporation, Cat King, and I'm specifically looking at my insurance fronts. Again, front is such a choice of name for it, isn't it? I will centralize the training budget to be maxed out, but I want that market share. So we are going to link to, and I hate to use Datadyne for this, but I think I'm going to spend extreme amounts of money on this. Because like I said, we are not done with being unethical here. I want everybody to know how great our... Oh crikey, shouldn't have done that. There we go. I want everyone to know how great our insurance is and how crappy anyone else's insurance is, so that we end up with all of their money. And I intend on gambling with their money. I tried playing with the stock market previously, and the mistake I made there was that I was gambling with my money. Not a good idea. Gamble with other people's money. That's how you get ahead in life. Oh lord, we're an insurance firm now. Well, insurance and banking. Insurance, banking, and real estate. That's kind of what we've become. Politics as well, I suppose. Okay, might be a recession, but that's all the more reason people would surely want our loans. So, let's make sure that the people are all trained. Not hand this over to Henry of Scallops. He'll demand more money if I give him more work. There we go. The unholy trinity of capitalism. Would it not have been an idea to do this in a subsidiary? It would have been, but I want to maintain a good eye on how this works, because I've never managed to make insurance profitable. I want to change that. Holy moly, our brand rating just shot up thanks to good advertising there. IPO, Medical Bay Portable Heating goes public, raising 1.3 billion. Good for them. Can I check them out? Going IPO, dangerous proposition. Here's the Medibay Heating. They're the guys that make all their money doing the only operating system in town. Little wonder that their stock price is so good. Do we think they're going to do even better? Do we dare go into Medibay Heating? There's a lot available for public shareholders. We could buy... No, we wouldn't be able to buy much of it. Do we think they're going to go to the moon? Considering that they have a monopoly, they're probably going to go to the moon. It would cost a lot to buy into that, but I think it's worth it. I think we should just go take out a big fat loan. No, this is borrowing. Take out a big fat loan and invest all that money in the Medibay. Jake, all you need now is your own credit rating agency. You can jumpstart to the... Everyone's making those 2008 jokes. We're in 2010 now in the game. Alright, yeah, let's buy up stock in Medibay. Oh wow, I burnt my money real fast there, didn't I? I'll buy some privately as well. Yeesh, I ran out of money fast. Plague Hearts, could you give me some money? You absolutely can. How do I do this again? Financial actions, Plague Hearts. Special dividend? I think that was it. Special dividend. Give me 100 million of your money, please. I'm going to invest that in the Medibay Heating. They better not crash and burn on me now. Stock exchange, Medibay, Cat King. Buy like another percentage of the company. I'd like to buy all of that, but I'm not sure I want to sell out my own bonds just to buy that. But I believe my own company is going to do very well, very fast. I did use my CEO money. I could sell off my shares in Shekel Master to buy yet more, if I think that Medibay is truly going to go to the moon. Might be an idea, but I own 10% of Shekel Master, that's quite a bit. I don't want to sell off shares in profitable companies to buy shares in maybe profitable companies. But still, I need over $1 billion to get that. Dare I put out another bond for another $1 billion? I have to make this money by September this year, though. And I've already maxed out my loans, so maybe I should abstain for now. Focus on actually building up that money. But you know, just a little bit more. Another percentage wouldn't hurt. Huh? Wait, can I not? If I own it personally, I can't own it as a company, but I already had it as a company. What's all that? Securities and Exchange Commission does not approve your purchase. Your corporation cannot buy a stock in which you have ownership. Oh, so buying it privately was actually a bit of a mistake. Can I just sell that immediately then? Uh-oh, they bought back their own shares. Oh well, not to worry, I will buy it on the company. Bring us up to a cool 8.5%. There we go. Let's hope they go to the moon. Let's hope we go to the moon. I have a lot of money that I need to raise before the end of the year to pay off my bond. And then I need to keep going and... The city of Chengdu has run out of cash. Declare bankruptcy for Chengdu. Bye-bye, Chengdu. The city government of Chengdu declares bankruptcy. Under pressure, the mayor, Great White Bull, resigns. Emergency funds from central government. So that bond market, did Chengdu have bonds out? I forget. Lubeck does, and Brasilia certainly does. How's Brasilia feeling, by the way? Oh, Brasilia's still making money. I kind of wanted Brasilia to be going bankrupt. Thought they would after they sold me all their apartments. Imagine that actually happening in China. All the officials would lose their heads. But the officials would be the ones behind it. Right, took a good brand rating. I need those insurance premiums to be pretty damn high though. Otherwise they just make a fat loss. Hopefully people actually end up buying it. Oh my god, my market share is non-existent despite my good brand. Service quality needs to be better, that's why I'm paying them. A silly poop says, love you, Jake. Okay. Right. How's my own stock price doing after that big grab? Not great. I really thought my stock price would go to the moon after that. That's a shame for me. Well, as long as Medibay goes to the moon, at least I'll have my money in them. It's been like a week. Where would the market share be coming from? Well, we own a lot of assets. Your insurance company's run out of cash. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't really have a lot of cash to be throwing around right now unless I put out more bonds. How much money are they going to need? Here's like 40 million. Please don't screw it up. Here we go, banking 2.0. Have we been here before? No, believe. Wait, come to think of it, am I paying a huge amount on interest right now? Probably gonna make it difficult for me to make a lot of money. Probably. Right, gotta shovel myself out of debt here. That's the big thing. I'm surprised Brasilia is doing okay. I might yet be able to take a deposit out of the Bank of Brasilia. Yeah, billions into the new money sink, of course. Yeah, they're already running out of cash there. Oh, right, of course, the money's going on to the huge amount that I'm paying on marketing. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that whilst I'm still in debt. Yeah, maybe, just maybe. Let's call Canny on that for now. Remember, I'm trying to dig myself out of debt. I've set up the infrastructure. We can focus on the marketing once I have cleared my bonds at the very least. Because the bonds are the immediate threat. I was hoping I'd be making a lot more money off of this real estate that I bought up, though. When ruining the public budget's not enough, what do? Well, how are you doing? Can you lend me yet more money? We're a little low on cash, actually. Annual profit down. Is that down? That looks quite far down. Don't tell me you're getting all those defaults. Yeah, they're getting hundreds of millions of defaults out of those C classes. Maybe my change of going 100% C class is going to ruin my own bank. Nah, believe in the money that they will generate. Look, I am generating money. Hey, we might finally hit above 200 mil. There we go. Actual money at long last. Right, what does the stock exchange think of that? To the moon, baby! To the moon, Cap King. Oh man, as soon as that hits 4 figures, it'll have been worth buying out all those people to get my control. Lovely. Maybe I should be paying some investor relations to boost it even further. I'm not sure though. Maybe I want to retain 100% control. I just want to make fat stacks of cash. Is that so much to ask? I should also keep an eye on the city graphs to make sure that there isn't outstanding demand in Brasilia or Chengdu for either housing or office space. In fact, I want to saturate both those markets. Your subsidiaries run out of cash. What? Well, borrow some money, my subsidiary. It's not a difficult thing to solve. There, buy that. Maybe that's a bit much, but they'll pay off whatever they don't need. I wish they could just automatically borrow money as they need it. Okay, I'm happy to see my own money increasing. I'm going to get rid of my debt, and then we are going to... we're going to go forward as an actually somewhat stable company, maybe. Because I've been in debt for about 15 years. And I'd rather not be in debt for that much longer. Once those bonds are gone, I'm going to start paying this off. How much bond are we talking about? On September 12th, I need to have 200 mil to cover that bond payment, but I'm sure I will. This game isn't Debt Lab, it's Capitalism Lab. Well, you borrow money to make money. That's how it all works. To the moon, baby, yes! Oh, yes. Also, stock value on Medilab. We've already made 45% gain on our Medilab stock. And I think they are going to go truly to the moon as well. They are the only operating system provider in the world. Of course they're going to do well. I just wish I'd bought more of their stock, but... yeah, maybe I should have taken out a bond to buy more of their stock. Bought it all. I got 9%. I could have had like 20-something%. Oh well, that's the way it goes. As long as I myself go further to the moon, I can buy them out later on. Okay, we're in August. We don't yet have the money to pay off our bonds, but what I will in that case do is take out yet another loan. As long as people will loan to me. Actually, they don't really want to, do they? Let's borrow while we can. Actually, the loan interest rate looks really good. Really juicy. Give me that. There we go. My bond matured. So now I don't have to worry about bonds. Now I just have to worry about paying off my proper debt. So, highest interest rate first. I don't have a lot of money to do that with. Hey, where's all your profits going, bank? Is it those $500 million of defaults that you have coming on in? Surely not. Expansion, recession, recession, recession. Majority recession is probably going to hurt you there. Don't worry, my own profits are going sky high, and that probably means my own stock is going, oh, 4 digits. Okay, this is where I'd like advice from the chat, if you can indeed give any. How can I make the most of my own very good stock price? The thing is, whenever I issue new shares to the public, having to buy them back, buying them back almost always entails paying double what the people paid for it, so... I would want to, let's say for example I were to open shares to the public, I would do it now, and then I'd have to tank my stock price to under like 400 to make money off of that. Also, oh man, this is a familiar looking situation, isn't it? Aperture science, I need money. I know, we're getting there. It really is the problem all over again with the bank, and it's recession time as well. Go figure. Where'd I get this 50 million from? Oh, maybe I did manage to take out the loan. Still though, there you go. Here's some cash. Our market share is paltry. And the... whoa, total profit down... Where's all this money going to? Probably on staff training. Oh yeah, and all that I paid on marketing. Being debt is a good thing if the interest is low, indeed. Didn't you used to have 15 billion in storage, not 1.5? No, I never had 15 billion in storage. Technically, you could issue shares at heavy discount, buy them up yourself, then sell them later when the price goes up. Will benefit your personal funds, but not the company. Yeah, I kind of want company money. I don't actually see much of a benefit in having personal money in this game. I think it's just score, but it's not what I care about. You know, I came out of this and I'm still 1.3 billion in debt. Doesn't feel good, and some of those are going to mature. 3 years until the 1 billion matures. To be fair, the option is there for me to issue some stock to claw it all back. Not new bonds, shares to the public. If I were to offer like no discount at all, I'd be able to raise $500 million, but that's pretty bad. I don't want to lose that money. I'd rather just make it. Look, I'm making good money. If I just wasn't paying absurd interest, I'd be fine. Hey, there we go. We actually managed to do the main goal of King of Capitalism and hit these targets, which was the aim, but I believe... Wait, where are the sub-goals? I thought it was meant to give you sub-goals aside from that. Huh. Achieve all the sub-goals, of which I see none. Where are my sub-goals? Longplay finish, time for They Are Billions. Okay, that's a little disappointing. I really thought there'd be sub-goals like you must acquire this amount of shares in this company or that company. Maybe you need to set those up at the very start. Well, it's good to know we're doing so well, but I'm not going to take that empty win. Need to set a new goal then. What would a new goal be? I don't know. Might be a good idea to actually be the biggest and best around, which I used to be, but the AI got better than me. Might also be a tall order, like Aperture does 3 times better than me. Initiatech as well. You still have less money than William. Become majority shareholder of all the competitors. Now that's a huge amount. I don't know, we'll continue on. Feels a bit bad to be aimless, but I do need to think up a good goal eventually. Also, good, the insurance profit is getting somewhere. Of course, this firm is almost never going to be profitable, and I hate that our market share is so low. And how much money do we even have in the... Yeah, you've only got 46 million around. And since you're not profitable, that's really bad. I don't know why my market share is so low, though. We've got great brand, and we've got parallel best service quality. Maybe it takes time for everybody to mature their insurance policies and then take out a new one with me. But you'd think this would be going up. Why is it not? Does the insurance company use premiums to pay the securities market? I have no idea how to answer that question. Right. Debts are what I need to keep my eye on right now then. I've got a 300 million debt here that I need to pay off because the interest on that is pretty savage. So I should borrow this to refinance you as much as I can. Let's try and minimize the amount that I'm paying here. Plague Hearts won't lend me anything though, because they only lend to C class. You know, as defaults go, that doesn't look that bad, does it? I'm sure their profits are going to be sky high, especially when... Oh, look at that! The recession is over! Booming, booming, expansion, expansion. Barely a recession. More of a recession-let. Holy Christ, look at my money! I hope I'm not causing too much emigration. I need people to actually live and pay me rent. Occupancy rate looks 100%, pretty much across the board. That's a good sign. Like I say, I want to build up more commercial and residential areas and keep that market saturated so that nobody else gets into it. And right now it's Brasilia and Chengdu that we care about that. Economic graphs. There's almost a demand for commercial buildings, especially in Chengdu. I think I will just grab this area next to my wonderful existing ones and build it up to have more... Yeah, well, look at this. There's space inside here. Firm revenue shooting up. That wouldn't happen to be when I started charging more on rent, would it? Look at that revenue going up. Up, up, up to the moon. I am quite certain that's from me increasing rent payments. Maybe it takes a while to catch on. Who's to say? Still, there should be something about emigration. Job openings, real wage. Job openings dropping. Immigrants down. Immigrants also down. Immigrants down, immigrants down. That's good, just keep them in here. Nobody comes, nobody goes, as long as they all pay me money. How's the subsidiary managing the bank so well, by the way? I mean, I just had to pour enough money into him until he was stable. Even then, though, that bank profit lately looks pretty gash. What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I told them to focus entirely on C-class loans. Because I believe in that lovely interest rate. There's going to be a lot of defaults, sure, but... I wonder if I could lower the interest rate. The competition all has the same one. And I would hate to drive them away. Still, though, I feel like we don't need to pay people that much money, do we? Should we have the skill level maxed? It's a lot of money to pay. Doesn't really matter when we have this much of the market share either. But our service quality is pretty terrible. Big it up a bit there, Nick Brick. Okay, finally making some serious money, almost $500 million turnover a year. Well, profit in fact, not just turnover. And with this, I'm just straight up clearing my debt. I don't like being so heavily in debt, especially this billion that I have here. Okay. Little worried that I haven't paid any attention to these guys. Very, very little demand for my goods. It's making me all sorts of sad. Am I even making money off of this stuff? Look, my market share on my crappy body lotion isn't looking so hot. Still apparently makes me money. My branch is being somewhat barely profitable. When it gets to this point, I'm really bad at keeping an eye on how to run my stores. This feels like something I should set up a subsidiary for and have them handle it. But I don't know how well they would handle it. I'd hate to just keep pouring money into them like I do with my bank. But now that I actually have money here, that might not be a bad idea. I could give them all of my R&D for the goods, and I can tell them to expand as need be. Set up... Yeah, that might be a good idea. Might not be a bad idea. Lakeheart's just sold some stock for profit. I hope I get my fair share. Ooh, wow. Actually having cash. Oh, that's some damn good annual profit coming in. I knew Nick Brick was the right man for the job. I don't know how I knew, but I knew. Also, what's up with my crummy salary? I don't see much of a benefit of my own inflated salary. Just cracks me up seeing Henry of Scallots there. By the way, I might want a CTO at this point. Is there anybody out there who's half decent at research and development? Koboses, Mosmorises, Venko. No, that's the wrong thing. This thing could definitely do with some filtering. I know it has filtering here, like expertise, but even then. I swear I saw an 80. Oh, Rance is great at R&D, but he's the mayor of Chengdu. Now. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Can I hire you? Apparently I cannot hire an independent investor. Zaniax is good at R&D. Brelix is good at R&D. Brelix, welcome to being my Chief Technical Officer. 6 million? I don't see why not. Change your training budget as you see fit. Hopefully that boosts my research in all my everything. Okay. How is Ask Jake doing? It's profitable. I almost can't believe it. Let's spend a lot more on marketing and make it super profitable. At least corner that market a bit better. Twatch is doing amazing. 71% reach on it. Good profit. I mean, I say good profit. I'd like it if it was a lot more money, but still. The internet really knows how to print money. Relics usurping TBW as the wealthiest BR. Right, does this mean I could link you with my own media now that it actually has reach? My reach is only 24%, so it's not that great. I mean, I'm competing with Datadyne, who have 85% reach. It's a difficult order. Can you make a YouTube alternative? Absolutely. I currently do video on demand, which I suppose it is. Is that different from video streaming? It's hard to know, that's why we have a digital guide here. Video on demand is different from video sharing, apparently. I have a search engine. We wouldn't be the top tech for video sharing. Well, why don't we make ourselves a video sharing company? So let's start. Wait, no, I'm trying to dig myself out of debt, okay? We can focus on new things once we're out of that. Just buy Datadyne 100% reach. Just buying Datadyne would be somehow getting over the fact that I'm looking at annual profit here, just give me all info. Datadyne have a net worth of almost $10 billion. I think well, actually, to acquire them I'd have to pay $11 billion. And that's incredible, right? That kind of cost all they have. All they have is a headquarters, one R&D firm, and 2 internet companies. And yet, they pull in annual profit that is competitive, and they have a net worth that is through the roof. I hope I have a high net worth. Cap King has a net worth of... Wait, what? Why is my net worth so low? Well, never mind that. My stock price has gone to the moon. I like that. So, really, and I might have missed points on this before, how can I take advantage of my really high stock price? The best I can think is if I know my stock price is going to tank, I sell a lot of it to the public, let it tank, and then buy it back. But it has to tank massively before that becomes profitable for me. Speaking of profitable, I made a fat stack on Medibay. They've truly gone to the moon. You have better technology than them, Jake. Tech companies profitable with little investment? Amazing. In theory, a healthy stock means easy and cheap credit. Well, I am actually getting credit, and that feels good. I'm going to repay this high-interest loan for one. Now the rest of my loans are the current rate or better. Of course, I have 2 years to pay off that $1 billion loan. I'm sure I'll get to that, though. You can issue stock to fund yourself. Yes, but I will eventually want that stock back. Well, not necessarily. I don't need to. I really don't need to get that stock back. But if I know my stock price is going to go to the moon, like I knew it was going to do when I acquired all this land, and fresh income from apartments, I wanted to big it up. Helps in mergers. In real life, you could use your shares as consideration to buy other companies. Not sure you can do that in this game. Well, what I could do with that stock is sell it out in order to make the capital to buy out a company. Trust me, it is sorely tempting to put out $500 million worth of stock. But buying it back is so expensive. Even if I crash, it'll be a lot. But I think the point is I get nice instant money. If I need instant money, probably a good way to do it, because I don't pay anything ongoing for that. But if I want instant money, I'd rather go to the bank. Or if I'm really desperate, I can go and issue bonds for it. I mean, how many bonds could I put out? I could raise that, and I think I could do it multiple times. But the interest... Wow, actually, the interest I pay on my stock is really good. Why don't I... Whoa, hold on, hold the phone. Why don't I put out this to raise the capital to pay off my loans immediately? Then I'm only paying... Well, I'm paying a lot less. That might be a good way to consolidate. Your shares are still underrated. No investor relations, no dividends. True that. But paying to, well, I'd rather not sell out my stock at this point. I went to a lot of bother to buy it all back. The bonds are dangerous. It's low due to the short term. Yeah, but I can pay off my bank loans with it, and that'll allow me to make more money each. How much in debt am I, by the way? Let's say I'm 1.2 billion in debt, and I wanted to pay that off. I could put out a... I could issue a bond for that 1.2 billion. And I do it for a... let's say 3 years. And then I'm paying a lot less. Oh, I can pay even less than that, can't I? Even if I just do it for 1 year, I'll be paying a lot less on my... it's going to cost me a lot less than what I pay in interest right now. How much do I pay per year in interest? Oh yeah, crikey, that's going to half my annual interest. It is risky though, you're not wrong about that one. Do you save money paying off existing loans? Yes, I absolutely do. I do think that would be in my benefit. But the thing is, bonds come with a bit of a shock. At the end, you're like, oh Christ, I need to pay this back, don't I? Still very disappointed. Well, my market share is growing, actually. Good. But man, that is a slow one. Using equity to pay debt is probably the best way. Explain further. Kaladin, this seems right up your alley. Why are you not jumping in on the capitalism love? If you take on this new bond, you will have to come up with 1.2 billion in a year, take out a new loan at a lower credit rating. Not guaranteed that it will be a lower credit rating, but reasonable chance. Especially when we're in boomtown, interest rates are high. But surely boom time means that my subsidiary bank is going to be making boom dollar. Well, one would certainly hope. I feel like you're losing a little bit of market share. Maybe other people are buying up those. Yoya merges with Jeff Wayne's Store of the Worlds. That's a shame. I'm going to miss Jeff Wayne's Store of the Worlds. Having liabilities lowers credit rating. Yeah, but these are liabilities that I have right now. Wait, what was that? A newcomer, Gunnolf's Banner, has joined the competition. Tell me more, game. Eyes open for Gunnolf's Banner. Is that it? Yeah, Gunnolf's Banner is run by Aristocrat, the chairman and CEO with an expertise in communication devices. Do we think they're going to make it? They have a diversified approach, and their stock price is way low. Yeah, dead competition gets replaced. I'm not convinced they all do that amazing, though. Look at people who haven't been around for very long, the relative newcomers. FTL joined and their stock price is shaky, but to be fair, they're getting into banks, which I dominate. What's this? The Zunist Church has also joined the fray. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do too well. All you do is play stock, though, and stock, it's pretty hard to do stock badly. I'm a little tempted to just buy you up. There's plenty available if we want it. Do I think that they can trade stocks like the best? Let's take a risk on them. I'm gonna buy a fair chunk of them. Why did it change the ordering here? I don't like that. If I'm on Zunist, keep me on Zunist. I should probably keep it sorted by corporation. At least that won't change depending on what I buy up. So yeah, let's buy into the Zunist Church. How much are we going to buy into them? Quite a lot. I have faith in them. Get 25% of the company. Why not? Well, I'm artificially inflating their stock, actually, which is probably a good reason not to. My Medibay stocks are worth a whole lot. I like that. But I think Medibay is good to hold on to. They're going to go to the moon. I'd say make YouTube too. You have better technology. You're wasting not having market share. Good point. Let's go for it. Digital age, new internet company. Should probably put it next to some of my existing buildings like here. But I like having my internet companies next to each other. Makes it easier to keep track of them. What is it? Was it video sharing? I forget which one it is. Video sharing is a little different than what I was thinking it would be. We don't have the best tech. The top tech is 511, and that's not my tech. We have the best tech in car rental, which is nice, and the best for video on demand. Well, it doesn't change the fact I'm going to make it. Video sharing, go for it. You do not have the required technology to start operations. I thought we did. There we go. And I quite like the name YouTube 2. Lucky asks for salary rate. Yeah, sure, it's a modest amount at least. And let's make sure we market it. I hate to just give Datadyne my marketing rather than using my own one, but my own one's reach is so pathetic. Someday it'll be better though. There we go, just pour a lot of money into YouTube too. The reason I do my building in Lübeck is because we can pay the people dirt wages. And nobody's gonna bat an eye. What did Henry do with all the money after you bought him out of Cap King? I would imagine he invested it in other things, right? Let's go to persons, my staff only. Henry of Skalitz. Henry of Skalitz. You have $500 million in raw cash. You have a personal mansion. But you don't appear to have any stocks. I bought out all of his stocks. Relics is the only person I employ that has stocks, other than myself, of course. Yeah, my own stock value is, too good. Relics doesn't have a lot of money, but he's got stocks in child labour, Mosmoris, and Aperture. Aperture is good stock, we barely have any of it. Advertising a video sharing website on your competitor's ideo sharing website, wow. Well, they have the reach, what choice do I have? Gotta get my foot in the door somewhere. I wonder how swiftly this is going to be profitable for me. Well, Henry of Skalitz runs the operation, and he decides that we shouldn't be putting any budget into new features? Well, we're just pouring it into... Okay, now he's having a second idea. Wow, we're gaining reach really easily here. Insurance... Oh man, my freaking insurance firm is not doing well at all. It's just costing me money, it doesn't even make profit. Well, this is becoming the new money pit for me, isn't it? I think the problem is I'm way too expensive compared to the others. But I don't want to just allow people to take all my money from me. I'm going to cut the training expenses down a bit. Who owns the insurance firms and how expensive are they? Tinner and Tinner and Initiatech. Initiatech are quite expensive. Tinner and Tinner less so, but it's not a case of just easily buying them out. Their shares are held by a lot of other people. Also, how the hell did they go to the moon? Holy crap, look at that! Now I feel really bad for not buying their shares at $4 each. It's disgusting. And that apparently isn't even considered overvalued. Yeah, I don't know, I shifted all of their insurance firms over to God knows where. To be fair, I didn't do it in every place. I don't know how they get that reach though. They don't even do marketing. Oh, there's a thought. My market share is only in these 2 cities. Worth considering. Well, I hope someday to win out on the insurance game. I can't expect to win it overnight. Just a shame that it costs as much as it does. Right, I'm still drinking that 1 billion of debt, and I need to pay off the big chunk of it next year. I might need to refinance for that loan, but for now we'll pay off the higher level ones that we have. The rising tide lifted all the boats, Jake. You're true, it is boom time right now. Did it lift my boat? My boat should be higher than everybody else's. Where am I? Oh. Okay, whew, Christ. I thought I'd become a low number. It's just that you lose the pennies when you get this high. So it is a little tempting to, I mean, it's very tempting to issue shares just to get some capital going. I just don't know that. What's PB ratio? Stock is currently trading at a price lower than the stock net worth. Well, it's not, but FTL don't look so good. Banner, not looking so good. We didn't make much on the Zunis Church. In fact, I believe we lost, but the Medibay is looking really good for us. Right, don't know what to do. I clearly have a lot of assets on hand, but I'm still in debt. There is that big temptation to issue. I could do this twice and issue 1 billion worth of debt, not debt, wonderfully good stocks out there, and then pour that into making my stuff better. Look, I'm almost making 1 billion though. My money's going up and up. Surely it'll go absolutely to the moon, right? Let's go into relation department. There we go. The way I see it, if you issue shares or take loans, you then have to take steps to actually make money with it. True. So I need to consider where I go into. What I can do is go really heavy on the insurance. I can place my insurance presence over in... where did I put them in? I put them in Brasilia and Chengdu. I could then put them in Vancouver and Lubeck and try and choke out the competition, as expensive as that may be, because I'm having a very, very hard time getting market share. I can't believe it moves so slowly. I got the most offices, the best brand, and even my service quality is up there, but the market share just does not shift. What I want to do is to be able to go to the stock market, maybe even the global one, and use my Cap King insurance company money to invest. That way I'm using other people's money to take the gamble. In fact, I might do that right now. Chat, who do we feel like investing in? Everybody seems like they're on the up and up right now. All these famous brands that everybody knows of. We want to invest in... What is the rule of thumb for investing? I know it's going to be random, but what's the best educated guess we can take? I feel like low PE is good, but sometimes high PE only goes higher and higher. But the whole point I set up an insurance company for was to buy up loads of stocks. And then I periodically go there and I sell the stocks that are doing very well and shift over to other new ones that are going for cheaper. Because eventually they all just kind of go up and down and up and down. Invest in Philster before 2020. I try not to think about stuff like that. Go for Nike. I always go for Nike. Nike have so many stocks, it's hard for me to buy much of it. Is insurance market share linked to price? Diversify, hold. I'd like to diversify and hold, but I need a lot of money to diversify in all of these. Ideally, I'd have 5% in every company, and then I buy and sell depending on how they're performing, with a view to eventually buying outrageous amounts of stock and making money on the dividends. There's a dividend yield on some of these. Like, some of these people will give 2% dividends. Oh, not too shabby that. 2.9? Is that annual, by the way? Are dividends paid every year? Does anyone have a lifetime return that's really low? Might indicate that it'll go quite a lot higher. JP Morgan's pretty pish poor right now. JP Morgan could go to the moon. I can barely buy any of it though. Don't buy shares on global, buy on local. But on local, almost nothing is held by public shareholders, so I have to haggle with other people and buy it at very high amounts. I don't know how to actionably use these. I think I'd want something that has very low 1-year return, because it means they're on the down, and then... yeah, I don't know. I do not know. In the end, it's all guesswork, right? But I need a lot more money before I can play any reasonable game there. Although, to be fair, anytime I'm not playing that game, this money is going to waste. Alright, should we just take a gamble? Who do we feel like taking a gamble on? Somebody earlier said Nike, so let's go with that. Cap King, you are going to buy, or you're going to invest that money into 0.1% share of Nike. There you go. Let's hope we see a good gain on that. But this is the reason I'm keeping the insurance thing for myself. The insurance firm is almost never going to be profitable. Especially not when I'm paying all that on... You know what? This branding is not helping so much, is it? Maybe I should go to all of my firms and lower the amount that I'm paying on that branding. Do I pay anything on branding if I do it with my own firm? Or is that free? Could that be called free money? If I link to... wait, my new video sharing website's doing better? They probably still pay that, but my media firm earns that. So maybe what I could do is I could link to both of my own. If we just go own, or own and subsidiary, we can pay into both of these. And at least I'll make some of that money back. Don't know how much, but it's an idea. I don't think the reach has an overlap. I think it actually pays to have both, but I'm not entirely sure. I need to learn a bit more about how marketing works in this game. Well, there's a lot of things I need to learn about in this game. Just add this to the list. Boy, I really wish this was more centralized. And granted, I could put this to a subsidiary who would manage it, but from my experience, Henry of Skalitz does not manage my internet stuff. Makes sense that a medieval peasant would have difficulty managing my internet companies. Must seem so alien to them. You know, the whole internet thing would seem really alien to me when I was a kid, so... oh god, speaking of Henry's demanding the big money. The company's doing really well, though. When the company does really well, you absolutely should play your cards like that. You work for a company and things are going really well for them, go in and say, look, I'm looking for the big money. Chances are good they'll be paralyzed into thinking, oh god, I don't want to be the guy that loses this guy that causes the company to go into downturn. So play aggressive. Oh, well, I know this other competitor is willing to offer me so-and-so for working for them. And the fact that times are going well means they're more likely to actually give you what you want. Then again, that's all stuff that's easier said than done, depending on your relationship with who you have to haggle with. One of the things I didn't like about Paradox was there wasn't enough haggling about your compensations, shall we say. I like some haggling. Real life haggling. Okay, those profits are looking pretty juicy because it's boom time. Not a lot of defaults going on the loans that we're focusing for the C lenders. And yeah, you've got cash in the bag. You probably have no loans. I myself have cash in the hand. And I am working towards getting rid of that debt. Look at that. For the first time in a long, long time, I am not $1 billion in debt. And we have managed to increase the amount of profit that we're making roughly 8 times. Haggling goes both ways though. Your employer holds most of the cards. That's why you make them think that they don't. Or hopefully you spend your time within the company fruitfully to ensure that you have a few cards. If your employer asks you kindly to train up people who are potentially your replacements, find a good reason not to do that. Then again, this is all very cynical, isn't it? I've been out of real work for too long. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Right. We are still in boom time. We've managed to do some good things, but we need to continue to do good things and potentially even do better things. Can't believe I'm still making money marketing. Hang on, can I market my marketing firms using each other's marketing firms? If I pay all this money to Ask Jake to market YouTube 2, and I pay all this money to YouTube 2 to market Ask Jake, is this just gonna make a cycle of money? Probably not. Cost per click. I don't know if that's how much it costs us or how much we get paid for it. Where's the money coming in from in all of this? Probably making a bit of a loss on that, but anything to increase my own reach is probably good. The money goes around, yeah, but do you skim any of it away in some of the process? Because otherwise you could just own all marketing and market each other's marketing to increase your reach at no cost. Which wouldn't be right. Am I still the mayor, by the way? I am still the mayor of Brasilia, and Brasilia's making good money. Huh. I should stop and ponder if any firms are owned by the government. All firms owned by government. Government owns... Local advertisers up at that. So the government owns this radio station. What else does the government own here? Firms, all government. Chengdu? No, not Chengdu. Brasilia. Brasilia is where I'm still the head honcho. I was looking in the wrong place. I was getting overly excited there. Brasilia, government owned. No, they don't. They own this, and they haven't built anything new because I'm in charge of building new things. I really need to expand the real estate and such around here. This police station, for example, would be a great amenity if I built up my real estate around it. Maybe I should just hold on to Chengdu, not Chengdu, Brasilia. Might not be very expensive to do so, and being able to tell my competition to just sod off and ensure that no new government houses are built could be useful for me. There's almost a demand for housing and commercial. Very cool. Alright, something to consider. Not to... Wow, I'm almost making $1 billion. How's that stock price of mine looking? Did I actually end up doing investor relations? I did. Hard to really see if that pays off. No, that's global. Local. Good grief. That's a lot of money. Holy macaroni, my stock value's 20 billion. Not even an M there. 20 billion of stock. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Issue stock, make profit. Yeah, but we don't know if it's going to keep going to the moon. What if this is just the start of it going to 30,000? How can we know? Also, what the heck is going on with Caesar's Oil? Why is the PE rated... Oh, they think Caesar's Oil is way too high. Well, if I owned any of Caesar's Oil, which I... Oh, the Plague Hearts own some of Caesar's Oil. Do we think Caesar's Oil is going to crash? Probably. Is this a sign of an imminent crash in the amount of money in it? Because I could force the Plague Hearts to sell that off for a profit. Wouldn't be a lot of money though, it's probably not even worth caring about, so off we get with that. I need to consider what I have. Wow, the Zunist Church is dying. I've lost 50 million on that. Medibay continues to go to the moon. I don't know why Aperture Science shows here. Shackle Masters. The thing is, it's boom time. Probably a terrible time to buy. But my god, that's good money. Temptation is so good to bust. Not bust, but you know. The thing is, if I do my new shares, and I would have no problem doing maximum shares with almost no discount. Wow, the share dilution wouldn't be even that high. I could raise about $3 billion, and it wouldn't cost me that much stock. Signs of high risk speculation that it will extremely moon. I don't think Baron is going to extremely moon. Not in the way that the investors want him to. Now is the perfect time to issue stock and cut investor relations. That's what I'm strongly considering doing. But I need a plan. What am I going to do with 2 billion? Well, let's do it and then figure out what we do with the money, right? Issue stock. Wait, why can't I do it again? I want to do it again. Maybe I should have had a higher discount so that I could do more of it. Nah. Okay, that didn't raise as much as I'd like. I wonder how often you can issue new shares then. I suppose I could just sell shares, right? Getting rid of those damn loans with it, so no more sword dangling overhead. Yeah, but I'd just take out more loans for doing more of that stuff, and this still isn't enough to pay off my loans. No, that's hilarious that it's not. Could pay off the most high interest one though. Get out of here. That's barely a sword dangling over anyone's head. No more more discount, more share to issue. Yeah, but more loss per share. Selling this would only make the money for Jake personally, wouldn't it? I mean, that's not a huge amount to have floating out in the open, but how often can you actually do that kind of selling of shares? Issue new shares, da-da-da-da-da, issue now. Try again in a few weeks. Oh, okay, so it doesn't take very long. We'll continue to go to the moon. We are certainly mooning it. But let's keep a hawk eye on it, shall we? I think it'd be fun to play this game just doing stocks. Virtual Bart, Data Dine. Well, Data Dine, but one. Oh god, it's still mooning! I know, I wanted it to still moon, but it needs to collapse. You cannot issue try again in a few weeks. How many is a few weeks? It's probably to stop you just taking advantage of an extreme hike, or maybe even taking advantage of the daily fluctuations of the stock market. Alright, how are we going? Man, I love this. I hate stocks in real life, but in the game, yeah, it's stressful, but it's got that tantalizing feel. And you don't, well, you get a much more copeable feeling of, oh, those losses hurt than you do in the real world. I mean, I've sold stock that has then gone to the moon, and it doesn't feel good, but I've also sold stuff that's gone to the moon, and that feels great. I once sold something that then became worthless. Literally worthless. You couldn't even sell it for a penny. And let me tell you, that feels great. Okay, can we get more of these dished out yet? No, it still says a few weeks. That's an incredibly unhelpful piece of advice, game. Lucky must be hearing how we're doing as a company and demanding his pound of flesh. Fair enough. You get a more culpable feel of losses in the real world, but you lose real money in the real world. Yeah, you also get a better feeling for winning the money in the real world, but sometimes it doesn't even feel good. Sometimes the endorphins just don't go. It's more of a case of, oh, thank God I didn't lose this time. Gambling can be like that, and that's the moment when you know you should just leave the casino. Okay, now I can. Maybe you have to wait until all of the shares have been bought up. In any case, I do not want to sell these at a discount. My shares are hot commodities. Everybody wants them. And I don't have a big problem with diluting my shares down to like 90-ish%. Because I don't think we're going to remain in the moon for much longer. I want to sell, 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 and it's probably going to come crashing down to like 2,000 or so. It's already going down. Getting close to that billion profit, I sure am. Jake, buy them back with your CEO so you lose less. Yeah, but there's not a lot I can buy with CEO money. Not many at all. I mean, I will. True, it is less loss, so... Actually, on that note, I should be giving myself loads of money so that I can do that. But then the money isn't going anywhere. I'm not making anything. I'm just paying myself to buy it. At a discount, no less. Well, the money's already being paid to me, so I guess there's that. I don't know, I don't really see how your own personal money feeds into this game much at all. So I assume that once this public shareholder thing goes down to 0%, then I can issue more. Because I certainly can't right now. There we go, and oh, it still says no, so we've got to wait a little longer. Sometimes you open the wrong kind of stock account and lose 30% of your profits to the Swedish taxman. Yeah, next. Swedish taxman loves his 30%. You know, in the UK, we call 30% emergency tax. That's the tax rate you pay when you haven't finished filling out your paperwork for HR, or sometimes when HR make a complete cock-up. And then you have to wait till the end of the tax year to get that money back. You'll get interest for that in Sweden. I don't think you get that in the UK. Talking about real-world applications, this stuff is dangerous. It invites too much political talk here, but I think it's unavoidable for a game like this. God, everyone's asking for the big raises, right? I'm going to open a new subsidiary soon, and my subsidiary is going to handle all of my retail stuff, because I have not been paying any attention to this. There's doubtlessly better ways to run it, and I'll just give them carte blanche to operate my retail, and just hopefully I have stuff set up that'll do well enough for them. Can I issue more shares yet? Yeah, I can. Sweet, but they're not getting any discount. There we go. That's me made all the money I want to make off my stocks right now. Now remember, it cost me a lot of money to buy that stuff up previously. Probably going to cost me even more if I want to buy it again now, but I think it's going to slump down. So I'm going to cut all investor relations. And if my stock price collapses, it means I just buy it back up. Problem is the company's doing really well right now. Okay, so subsidiary time, and that's a great opportunity to save because I could easily muck something up. This is Longplay 012. 30% is sweet, sweet tax rate. Get money back? What are you talking about? I've had money back from being overtaxed, but I think I generally overtax my company in Sweden anyway. Wow, there was a short period where my insurance company made money. Maybe they got some kind of payoff on the stocks, I don't know. Hey, the brand is looking great. I wonder if you don't lose the money if your brand is maxed like that. Still, this is ridiculous. Great quality, maximum brand, barely any market share. I will expand you, but subsidiary first. So we go to financial actions and we want to set up a new subsidiary company. And who are we going to be? Who will our subsidiary be? One is the Plague Hearts, but I've only got one State of Decay company here. Suspiciously furry goods. Okay, I don't have a... Wait, there's only so much I can put in as your initial capital? There we go. So if you haven't seen this guy, there's an image you really need to see, and surely someone can link it in the chat. I don't have it handy, but I'm sure it's in the Discord somewhere. And it cracks me up every time I see it. Oh, Christ, I didn't mean to delete my name there. Okay, set up that subsidiary. You must hire a CEO, right. Who is going to be in charge of suspiciously furry goods? Gunnar is a pretty hairy guy. Oh, and he's really good at retailing. Well, dang, that's amazing. Unless anybody else is somehow even better at retailing. Henry of Skalitz is, but he's my COO. I could actually make him the CEO. Maybe he'd be happy with that. Then I'd need a new COO. He's good at marketing as well, which is a good share of skills to have. And he might be able to use his expertise in household products. That's a difficult one. Gunnar's good at news websites. But he's also alright at marketing and training. I'd also have to pay a fat CEO salary to Henry of Skalitz. I need somebody that's good at retailing, though. Retailing's what we're going. Oh, Jake Blue's good at retailing and marketing. I think we can confirm that these ratings do not increase as time goes on. If it's not good retailing, it's not worth it, because this is entirely about retailing. Well, not necessarily. They also do the farming and manufacturing. Somebody that has a broad scope of skills would be nice, but you can't hire venture capitalists. Surely Henry has earned a cushy CEO job, but then I won't see Henry's smiling face whenever I ask him to look after my own stuff. Where was Jake Blues at? It's going to feel weird having someone called Jake working for me. So I think I'll avoid it on that alone. Even though he looks like a great guy for the job. Who was the other guy that looked really good for it? Forever Lona. Oh, Chris K's got a lot of skills going for them, except for research. They probably demand a fat salary for it. But with skills like that, maybe they would just make an all-round excellent CEO. How much do you want, Chris K? Hire Chief Executive Officer. 8.6 million's a lot, but I'm going to trust you. Congratulations, new subsidiary, great. You can acquire tech, you can sell, don't sell tech. Yeah, acquire tech if you need it. Backwards integration, yes. Expand in retail and production and R&D, and not real estate, not media. It's not a problem if you do software, but I think I'd rather have I'd rather handle software myself, truth be told. I just want you to get into actual products. Not telecom, not internet, not banking, not insurance. You can do everything. I don't really have a problem with you getting any of these in particular. And just be a middling guy, own firms, Prefer ordering, yes. Internal sale. Always enable internal sale. Well, actually, what if you actually do well as a... Prefer ordering from own warehouses, yes. Now I don't need to bother with the whole internal sale at product cost. I will trust him to do a better job of it. It means he might become a wholesaler. Might hurt me, but hopefully he'll be alright. You can change all of that. You are not allowed to issue shares. Invest into other companies and merge with them. Well, maybe you'll do a good job of it. Especially if I pour money into you. Close down unprofitable firms. Liquidate firms when you're at... Don't... Yeah, go for it. Okay. Now, I would like to keep a good eye on how you're doing. So let's do a headquarters for you next to me. So you're easier for me to spot. Yeah, just right there, why not? How you set that up is up to you, and I'm going to give them a large cash injection so they can get everything done. Oh, but I also need to transfer firms over to them, don't I? And it doesn't even work like that. Where was the transfer firm button? That's always so evasive to me. With the close down unprofitable firm setting, you'll bulldoze all your shops. Yeah, you might be wrong. You might be right on that one. Let's fix that first and foremost. Chris K, I want you to... Where do I do those settings? Management policies. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Yeah, but what if it is better to get rid of those crappy, unprofitable ones? Well, actually, I've seen how the AI handles shops. They might not do that well, but... I'll give him what he needs to do for it. Right. Right. Let's try and remember how this works. I need to transfer firms. And I will transfer all of my retail stores, every single one, painful as that is. Select all, transfer to suspiciously. Sell. Oh god, they need the money to buy it. I need to dump like $1 billion into them. That's weird. Why make it cost like that? I'm sure they have their reasons. So for that one, corporate detail, suspiciously, not corporate detail, financial actions, capital injection into suspiciously, and we'll just give them, not from the plague hearts. Suspiciously, capital injection. Why is it saying from plague hearts? I want to do it from me. Oh god, did I make suspiciously a subsidiary of Plague Hearts? Maybe I did. That would be a big mistake. How can I check that? No, parent company is Cap King. Transfer firms. That's transferring firms from me to them. Check who owns their shares. Suspiciously... Uh-oh. Plague Hearts owns all the shares in Suspiciously. Did I really set them up as you? Oh, well. Right, let's see if we can't not make that mistake. I think what happened is when I went to financial actions, yeah, it always scrolls to the bottom for some reason. So when I went to set up a new subsidiary, it probably did it from the Plague Hearts. Right. Well, let's fix that straight away, shall we? Have you used a different color? Have you used green in that case? Suspiciously... You know, I actually feel a little uncomfortable putting furry here. Can we not put in wealthy goods? Yeah, makes sense. Ah, that explains why I was limited on the initial capital. Then I was definitely doing this as a subsidiary to Plague Hearts. Okay, jeez. Yeah, that thing auto-scrolling to the bottom threw me right off. How much am I going to pour into these guys? I'm going to give them a cash injection of 400 million and hope that they don't waste that entirely. And let's see if we can't get Chris K again. Where are you at, Chris K? There we go. Hire a COO, a CEO. Oh, now we got to do this again. Yes, don't sell tech. Expand in retail and production and R&D, but not real estate, not media, not software, not telecom, not internet, not banking, not insurance. Do everything. Do I really want you to do everything? Apparel is his expertise. Hopefully it works on that then. I don't have a problem him getting into any market that he wants as long as he can fight in it. You're going to blow it all on fursuits and commission from Lucky, Jake, and you know it. I don't think I've ever commissioned something from Lucky, but he did do a drawing for me as a gift one time. He did it for all of us in the gang. Very nice and very well done. Change training, advertising, R&D's, all fine. Look for better products, look for better supplies. I suppose that's all fine. And maybe I should have him close down on profitable firms. Just let him do as he thinks he should do. Might be better that way. But I don't want it to issue new shares. CEO will never issue new shares for expanding the business, but if they're out of cash, he will issue new shares regardless. Well, I pay them, so that's okay. Right, and now... Hey, now they're not listed under play cards. Maybe they weren't before, though. Hard for me to pay attention to these things. Shove you right in the corner there. And at least I know where your headquarters are. And now I need to transfer firms. Oh, but I'll need to cash injection them again, won't I? And just to be sure, yeah, we have the suspiciously wealthy stocks. I think their short name is just suspiciously. Right, capital injection. I'll give them like a billion, but I will be taking that money back very swiftly. And now we go to... I forget who we transfer firms from in the options here. I also forget where it's at. Transfer firms. Yeah, all retail stores. Select all. Transfer to suspiciously. It's so strange that I make them pay for that. It just creates an extra bit where I have to pay them money to get my own goods off them. Still, that's not enough. I also want to transfer all my factories to suspiciously. Okay. And I also want to give them all my farms. And I really hope they don't mess this up. Farms, select all. Seeing that freaking face is just cracking me up. Okay, what was I missing out on here? I think I was on them here. We need to go transfer firms to our own farms. Select all. Transfer to suspiciously. That's not very expensive, thankfully. And what else am I giving them? All my warehouses. Why not? Select all. Transfer suspiciously. And transfer. This is a nice way, a nice layer of reducing micromanagement. Reminds me a lot about doing that in Factorio. The things I will control myself are going to be stocks, insurance, and real estate. And I suppose the internet stuff. You can have my mine, which probably isn't doing anything right now. Select that, transfer that to suspiciously. You can figure out what to do with it. Is there anything else I need to transfer to suspiciously? Apparently I still have a factory in Lübeck. Interesting. But I can just directly transfer this firm. You cannot, it's making packaged software. A factory can only make packaged version of software that is developed by the same... Oh, well. I suppose that's fine. I mean, we do make money off this stuff, right? Yeah, surprisingly large amounts of money off of my really, really, really crappy antivirus. I think this is the ebb and flow of when I make new versions of it. But now it's being sold in suspiciously... yeah, it's being sold to the suspiciously wealthy furries. Okay. Have you stopped mooning, Jake? I don't think we've let enough time pass to see if we're mooning or not. Not really, but it is going down, which is good. Right, is there anything else I need to transfer to them before I forget? I should do a quick check over my firms. Yes, the R&D. That's very important. How could I forget? Question is, what are they R&Ding? Ah, this is where I should have made sure that they had different designs on them. Okay, I need to... When you transfer its existing R&D will be cancelled as they're dependent on the company's technology foundation. The dependence is broken when the firm is transferred to a new owner. What? The existing technological dependence is broken when the firm is transferred. Does the tech go to my, Yeah, do they get my tech level? I might be able to sell them my tech level, so I'll just do that. Can I just F1 to... No, I can't just press F1. Man, this game could really do some bulk tools for this. Now I have a bulk tool, granted. I got the transfer firm with R&D, but I can't be certain I'd get all the right ones. Unless, of course, I renamed them. Actually, they go up by numbers, right? So... the R&D center, 15, 14, 13... 11, 12... So everything up to 12 I could transfer away because they're researching things that... yeah, everything up to 12 I just give away to the furries. That doesn't sound right. Corporate detail, transfer, R&D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, and I keep the other ones because they're techie stuff. Transfer to suspiciously. Now, you tech. Yeah, their current tech is garbo for everything, so I need to make sure that they are kept up in tech. How can I sell them tech? I hope I can sell them my tech. You could specialize R&D by city going forward. I could. I'm not yet willing to go that far. CEO's office. Acquire product tech. Okay, thank God they can get my tech from me. This seems really weird. Why not just have a much easier way of doing this? Now I have to go through all the tech that I have. Give it to them for free. Or as close to... No, wait, what? I am telling them I'm not interested. Okay, so we have to do this exchange of money, which seems really weird and out of place. Bizarre. There must be a better way to do this. Feels like a lot of busy work, that's for sure. Now they're almost out of cash, so I need to cash inject them. I did offer for 0, wouldn't let me click. And it forces me to demand more money out of them. I wouldn't want them to buy the tech from a competitor though, that's just taking money out of my system. Okay, capital injection, and again, I'll just give them everything, right? I can dividend it back. So I need you to acquire all the tech that I have. You got the bread off of me. What else do? Well, I do some suspiciously good canned corn. I do cigarettes, of course. Did you give them the bottled milk? Don't tell me I forgot to do bottled milk. Oh man, how could I forget? My bottled milk is the best around. Good thing this keeps the money in a closed circuit. But it just seems very weird that we do this at all. And I'm sure the game has its reasons for it, but they're beyond me. You'd think there's just a setting of give all my tech to my subsidiary as well. The developers seem to like shutting down exploits before they become possible, so maybe they just stayed on top of that. It'd be good to have somebody manage this tech. I've been pouring tech into cola for no good reason. There's no reason to have a... What's that? Almost 600 advantage in tech. At least not that I know. Just makes it very expensive. When did Jake's profits jump? The profit here, I'm pretty sure, is just from me selling tech. Take the cold pills tech. What else do I have the tech of? Cap King cough syrup tech is all yours. This is so weird. If I were to have started over again, I think I would have set up subsidiaries to handle R&D in this much earlier. Because I've ignored R&D for about 20 years almost. I just set it up to go and assumed it would be fine to keep going, but I think there have been better ways I could have done this. Oh, that's a given, isn't it? Eyes peeled for any Cap King that I'm missing. Take my headache pills. There we go. It's artificially boosting up my profit, which makes me wonder, could I do this to artificially inflate my share price? If it goes to the moon because of this, I'm going to take advantage of that, although surely the game would see that kind of exploit coming. Right, I didn't have that much research, so surely we're almost done with this. Aperture, stars, see that, man, your eyes kind of hurt after looking at the screen for a while. Well, mine certainly do, and I keep my brightness on almost negative. Of course, my wine tech, which is again suspiciously high, but that's fitting for such a suspicious company. Gonna do something very strange to the PE for a wee while. Alright, do they have everything? Eyes peeled for anything that says CapLab here, or Cap King rather. Okay, if you are a pro at this game and you know a much better way to be selling tech to your subsidiary than this, please tell me. Because this didn't cost me anything other than my real world time. And it seems very strange that it's not just some setting of give my subsidiary my tech. You're still not allowed to sell it though. Okay, there we go. Now you have the tech. You have the R&D. I keep the tech R&D for myself. You have all of my stores everywhere. Which isn't many, because I wasn't big on opening up stores. Why can't I see any? I'm sure I had some here in Lubeck. Ah, there we go. He's got that barely profitable supermarket. That was a lot to do, so even though time has not passed... In fact, it seems like I've gotten back in time by a day. Oh, that's because in the real world it's the 7th of February. Gotcha. That's probably going to feel weird if you watch this in the future. I was watching a video, actually. Atomic Shrimp, actually. I find it quite nice to watch his stuff about going into supermarkets. It gives me that nice nostalgic feeling of British supermarkets. Anyway, he was looking at some stuff and the out-of-date date on them was like 2 years ago to me, so I was like, ooh, felt a bit uncomfortable looking at it. Okay, you should probably IPO your subsidiary, hold 75%, hold your own R&D, and then sell it to our 10 or more subs. What? I don't see how that would benefit me, Favesna, but you probably see something in your head that I do not. Oh yeah, how much money does my suspiciously wealthy group have? They've got about 1 billion. I don't trust them with 1 billion. I trust them with 400 million. So it's time for the financial action of suspiciously to have a special dividend. Also, I'm setting their dividend. Not as aggressively as the other one though. Just give me, actually, a tiny amount. I just want you to grow on your own and I want a slim bit of the profits. 10% is fine. But for now, I want to take all but 400 million of your money. Come on, Jake, you can do mental arithmetic. There you go. So, I still have decent money myself. I should still be debt-free. I am debt-free. I did sadly lose about 8.5% of my stock. Question is, are we going to go to the moon from here? Internal R&D is cost until it's technologically viable. Externally purchased R&D is 100% asset. I'd really just rather not sell tech altogether. You sell tech for dozens of millions, and that's just not worth it. Why give your competitors that kind of edge for such a small amount of money? Alright, yeah, let's hope we fall into that really crappy movie, The Core, instead of going for, say, Armageddon or... What was the one about the sun called? Was it called The Sun? Maybe that one was called The Core. No, The Core was the center of the Earth. Armageddon was the asteroid. What was the one where they buried into the center of the sun? It was ridiculous, whatever it was. Also, this is quite good. I want my share price to come tumbling down. If it really goes way into the ground, I'll be happy to buy up other stock. Because if I wanted to get it off of Princess Elodie, for example, at, well, maybe I should pause to look at it. Princess Elodie, would you offer it to me for this price? Nope. She wants almost 6,000 per share. The AI is ridiculous for how much it's willing to sell their stock at. Speaking of ridiculous stock, Suspiciously Wealthy has already gained massively in value. Plague Hearts still do well, and I've almost made triple on my initial investment into Medibay Heating. The Zunis Church doesn't look very good, but that's to be figured. Cap King. Wait, where's the stocks that I held? They don't like to show up here, do they? It was Nike. Yeah, I bought a small amount of Nike. What's it worth now? It doesn't like to show up here at the bottom sometimes. I think I'm in a slight loss. Yeah, there it is actually. Strange that it doesn't show here. How are your banks doing? Well, it's we're coming into a recession now. Bank profits are probably going to go down the drain for a bit. The defaulting isn't that bad. Whoa, what's that weird look there? Yeah, the defaulting isn't that bad. Probably going to get a lot worse when we're in recession time. But the way I see it, you know, they make money when times are good, they lose money when it's bad, but they overall make decent dosh. And that's what we trust Nick Brick to take care of. Let's see, you've got yourself a finance department to pay out that dividend. You've got yourself an HR department, don't know why. Wrong, you were looking at the wrong company on stock exchange, was I now? I wanted to check out what Cap King had on the global market. There they, wait, oh, see? It showed there for a moment and then it didn't. Looks fine, doesn't look at all, and now we can't see it. But there we go. Nike's actually gone down a bit, which is bad, but that's okay. These things balance out. I'm not worried about it. Right, I have well over $1 billion, and holy... Oh, right, no, that's inflated by the tech that I sold. What do I get into now? Come on, stock, crash harder. Maybe I want to set up a new... Oh, Henry of Scallops keeps demanding huge amounts of money. Not that great, but he does it. He does it well enough. Right, I wanted to... Oh, next year I will be getting into politics again, because I want to take over Lubeck and Vancouver and buy up all of their... Oh, Christ, that's going to make my stock go to the moon again. Oh. That's unpleasant, because I already have like 8.5% of it out in the public shareholders, and they will benefit from that. That's still not bad, though. I can still sell off that stock of mine at great value, but it's going to make buying it back even worse. Your monthly profit's inflated massively. Henry's taking advantage of you. He is, but really, Henry doesn't manage much at all anymore, does he? He doesn't manage any of this. I personally manage my insurance. Henry's managing my R&D, but that's hardly a big job. I don't think he's worth the price, but really, his price compared to what I make isn't that much, so... Dangle a giant new factory to each city. Shoots gives the best breaks, the Bezos way. He's not good at R&D. No, Henry's not that great at many things, is he? He's good at retailing, which is... yeah, and he's okay at marketing. But now he doesn't really do either. Maybe I should get a new person in, right? Henry of Scallops has... he's served me well, but I need someone new and fresh. And what's their job even going to be? They're kind of going to be on research, but what else do I want them managing? Stop R&D. Just buy and repackage tech. No, I prefer to make it myself. Feels better that way. I think I'm going to get big into software after I do politics. So I'm going to do politics. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to liquidate the bank balances of the cities. Depends how big they are. But following that, I will get a lot of real estate, ensure that I cap real estate everywhere, because with a 1.5 billion, that shouldn't be too hard. And then I'm going to go big into software. And after I run it for a while, I might just let a subsidiary handle it. Make Henry the new mayor. Henry's been doing quite alright for himself. I need someone fresh and new as my COO. Yuan Shao's pretty crap. I could have him. He likes snacks too. Goost is a nice all-rounder. But farming and manufacturing is not really what we're going to be doing. Well, raw material production and manufacturing and research and development are all going to be important. It's these specializations, right? I think all the specializations are to do with physical expertise. Here we go. I think it's all to do with things that you sell. So home appliances and apparel, not software. Unless there's a specific software one, but it doesn't look like there is. Can der Führer be the new mayor? He's not spawned on the map. I don't know what causes characters to despawn though. Maybe if they're in charge of a company that goes bankrupt. Radar truck would at the very least be cheap. The maze master for manufacturing. I don't know. Who do I want as my new COO? Hang on, you do get things like microblogging. So you can get internet company specializations. Interesting. Basically, pure research is expensed, whereas development is capitalized, so long as it meets criteria. It's a full list of criteria to meet them. What? It's getting a bit intense for me there, Pandy. Right, I need to slow down here. What am I even thinking? I'm thinking to get rid of Henry despite everything he's done for me, get myself in a new COO who isn't focused on retailing. And I'm just going to be producing software. E-commerce! I can do e-commerce! Of course! Yeah, I could always e-commerce a lot of my software and just sell the rest of it off at banging big prices. Aha, now we're starting to think with our heads. Kobos is actually pretty good at manufacturing, which will probably be good for making those, making that software, because it does need to sell in brick and mortar stores as well. I'm overthinking this. I am way overthinking this. Just pick someone who isn't specialized in stuff that's absolutely useless and bring them in. Gypsy Moth's pretty garbage at everything. Do I even need a COO? Let's be real here. Let's bring in the Great White Bull. You want to be my new COO? What, you demand even more than Henry did? I'm starting to think I don't even need a COO. Although they do manage things like training and that for me. Alright, how about you, Alcoro? Are you going to demand ridiculous rates? I can't even hire you, you're a mayor. I haven't gotten rid of Henry yet, have I? Okay, Henry, I guess you're sticking around for a while. Bringing in someone new is clearly not what we're looking for. Embrace nepotism, hire party loyalist. I wonder what use it is bringing in your party. Right, we have Brasilia, Vancouver, Lubeck, and Chengdu. We got someone everywhere. So the next big step is to take over Lubeck. So Pain Elemental will be taking over Lubeck. And Vancouver. Shitatsu Sho will take over the Canadians. Very good. Wait for income to stabilize. Until, for hiring people, that might be a good idea. Also, let's keep an eye on that stock exchange of ours. Oh god, we went back to the moon. Take me away from the moon. Collapse. The higher to the moon you go, the worse it is for me. Right, one thing I really want to do is get in on making sure that nobody else is building up housing, especially in Brasilia and Chengdu. Lubeck I don't care that much about. But Brasilia and Chengdu I'll probably set up another nice area like this for. And I don't particularly enjoy the tedium of it, but it's hard to deny that one should always just straight up buy the land, build, then sell the land. Here's hoping that this is somewhat fixed with the latest update, because otherwise you just lose money. So I have this in, and I want to get myself some nice commercial buildings in. I'll have you here, and you here, and why not another one here? And let's build ourselves some nice apartments. Here, 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 and another one there. I mean, look, the price of this land has gone up massively. There's no good reason not to do this. And again, if there is, it's beyond me. I want another one of those right here. Now, these aren't going to be profitable for a long time. I just want to make sure nobody else is getting in on this business. I suppose the government getting in on it isn't too bad. Again, they can grow it up and then I can just make it better. But we charge ridiculous amounts of rent, and as long as we're the only place to live, people are going to have to deal with that. I remember you getting sub-goals when you were first playing around. Yeah, well, I don't see any sub-goals here. Why are they not showing up? Maybe they don't show up in modded games. Didn't consider that. Okay, so with that done, the city situation for the supply index in Brasilia. Yeah, there we go. They don't need housing or office space for a while. There we go. Just had to grab a new drink there. Note that I'm building the best houses around because you can charge a whole lot more for them. Oh, one other thing to note is while I'm still the mayor here, what I could also do is build up some really nice things for them. So I'm sure these people would pay a lot more money if they had easy access to, say, the police. And how about a lovely civic grade school? Right about here. There we go. And while we're at it, how about our own private golf course? And that should up the ratings for these a fair bit. I don't know really how all this works, but I'm sure it works out well enough. Are these things auto-set, by the way? And building these things only costs the city's treasury, which again, we can liquidate, but it's a bit tedious to do, and I already did plenty of it. This feels corrupt. Feels? Well, we give ourselves a nice park as well while we're at it. There you go. Nice nearby park to enjoy. I didn't see earlier the plundering of Chengdu and Brasilia was in... Oh, you didn't see? Yeah. And we have not yet plundered Vancouver or Lubeck. Don't know how much money they have, but given that the real wages in Lubeck and Vancouver are lower, I suspect that also means other things are lower. Wow, the unemployment rate is also pretty low in Brasilia. I can't believe Brazil is running one of the best places around. So Chengdu, I want to do the same in Chengdu and make sure that we have ourselves on top of these. Saturate that market. Really, it cuts into my own profits, but I want it this way. Wait, this is for sale? A news publishing? How much are you willing to sell that for? Nope. Can see why Aperture Science is going down. For some reason, the supermarket of theirs isn't even profitable. How? They must be spending a gorillion on advertising? Hardly. I don't know how shops are becoming so unprofitable. I didn't even hike up the tax rates around here. Still, it doesn't change the fact that I want to choke the market for places to live. Yeah, I'm even gonna kill this. It's good to have it around this town hall, though, I'm sure. Let's focus around that a bit. And commercial building. I don't see any reason to build anything other than the biggest, best commercial building. Maybe there's something to be said for squeezing in the small ones in other places, but again, I'm not seeing it. But there's a lot of things I don't see. You know how I live my life. Eyes wide closed. There we go. Now, since I don't control the government, I can't suddenly start putting down some niceties for these, but this alone has raised the property value a fair bit. Not as much as I would like, actually. I guess a lot of it was already boosted from some of the things around. But that's okay. This stuff is here to make me money long term and to squeeze out competition. And I still have my billions, as well I should. Well, my billion. The music playing right now is from Transport Tycoon Deluxe. I've mixed that in with the existing Capitalism music, because Capitalism only has about 20 minutes of music, which is a bit pathetic. I'm still looking for more similar tunes. Somebody had suggested some kind of City Builders music, but then on reflection realised it was actually quite bad, so that's a no to that. And again, I am charging 200% market rate for these, for rent in my places. And the people have nowhere else to go, so they have no choice. I suppose they could emigrate, but immigration is beating emigration, so too bad for them. I think when you're the mayor, you can look up some... Yeah, don't auto-build apartments. Yeah, you can look at this. Housing and community facilities are so bad that it's causing emigration, but it's offset by the fact that jobs, education, health, food, are all so good that people will move in for that. Overall quality of life in the places I rule have gone way down. Almost certainly due to this. The housing prices are so high that people don't want to come and live in my homes, but where else are they going to go? I'd rather make the sweet profit while I can. God, look at that profit. The power of monopoly. Now, Vancouver is somewhere where I don't have that monopoly, so probably... Wow, for some reason I'm not moving out of my overcharged places. Well, don't you worry, Vancouver and Lubeck. I think I will drain their coffers, because otherwise I just lose all my money buying up their homes, and... Well, I'd rather not pay more than I have to. Tent cities and ghettos, inspired by Stockholm. Stockholm rent control is something else. Glad I don't play with that anymore. Well, never did. I did it all private, but it frustrated me to the core. Disgusting setup. Okay, we are going to pass time until... Well, we can admire the stock. Oh no, we're going really to the moon here. That's not the plan. The plan was anything but that. And apparently we're undervalued at this. I could have made so much more selling my stock, but I needed that money. I need that money that I'm not putting to use right now. Wait, I was meant to be going into more of the insurance. That reminds me. I should be going to my insurance firms. Oh, I already linked them up with these. Maybe I should be spending a lot more on it. Heck, why don't I just max it out? They'll appear quite unprofitable, but I should make the money back on my own... advert... Actually, I have a headquarters for this. CMO. Advertising. All my advertising units. Max them out. Only went to 1. Hold on, does that mean you don't actually do affect these? Oh my god, what's the point in having that if it doesn't link into these? I don't even know what I maxed out there. I must have maxed out the advertising on my single bit of crappy antivirus software that I make. Okay. Yeah, when I get into... Next up, politics. After politics, liquidate money, corner insurance market in every city, and then we're going to work on software. Got to make sure that I stay on top of this as well. It's not that unprofitable already. Can't you set it from the insurance headquarters? That would make a lot of sense. Insurance headquarters... Nope, I can set training level but not marketing. I'm really saddened that marketing for insurance isn't centralized. It seems like a pain. All of this has to be illegal in the real world, perhaps. Insurance company. Well, fortunately for you, insurance company, I have a lot of money to just transfer into you. But you need to be making that work for me. God, all my workers are demanding the big bucks off of me. You've got plenty of money to... Holy Christ, Nike has collapsed in stock value. That didn't work out well for me. Let's invest in Apple instead. We'll get a minuscule amount of Apple stock. U2 point is on the way down. Probably a good time to buy. Yeah, cricky, you lost 22 million on Nike stock, but the Nike stock will get back up there, I'm sure of it. I didn't think you would value advertising. There's an interesting research questions being asked in real life about the real value of adverts, including things like Google and Facebook ads. Well, I'm valuing them in the game, in real life. I run always with an ad blocker when I go online, and if somehow something gets through, let's say I'm on my phone and I look something up, and an advert procs, I mute my phone and I don't look at it. And then after about 30 seconds or however long it was going for, I look back. I can't stand advertising. Sadly, it can't be avoided in some places, like you clarter city transportation with it, which is disgusting in its own way. Okay, enough about my soapbox rant. Cannot believe we make so much money. It's just... the feeling is good, and yet it should be so much more. I shouldn't be making billions. I should be making trillions. With a capital T and an emphasis on the L. So, it's politics time. Pain Elemental, you're running for mayor. Shitatsu Sho, you're running for mayor. Do we want to be in charge of Chengdu again? I mean, maybe we should at least see how badly Chengdu is doing. This is probably going to be quite expensive, but we'll be able to liquidate that money back in, I'm sure. The Great White Bull already has a lot of lead on support, so they only need a modest bit of backing, I'm sure. Vancouver, there's a big fight to be had against them, so I want you to be spending, 5 million. I'll up this if we get towards the end of the time when we're not there. Holy moly, Speed Racist has this one in the bag. Do I even want to keep Brasilia? Not that badly. I'll at least make other people have to work for it. And Lubeck, El Coro thinks he's in charge, but the big L is coming in a big way. There we go. Go and shove that in. We will take a look at them in the... give me a reminder in the middle of the year to go and check on them, please, because I'll probably forget. Jake, that place is a wasteland now. What place? Oh, Chengdu. It's certainly in a recession, but that's all the better to come in and take advantage of, isn't it? It certainly is. How are the suspiciously wealthy furries getting on? That doesn't look like a particularly good profit graph, but if you... It's a shame that you don't see the profit because of all the tech they had to buy. That's really skewering things here. They've lost all of that cash that they had on hand. Their revenue's alright, though. I'm sure they're doing fine. Suspiciously Wealthy Goods opens up a drugstore in Brasilia. I'm sure they know what they're doing. I hope they know what they're doing. I don't want them come running to me for more money. The thing is, they had a... oh, crikey. Right, so giving away all that really tanked my profits. So I'm not going to make quite all that fat stacks of cash that I thought I did before. Also, if Plague Hearts are out of cash, they know what to do. Just borrow it from the bank. Don't know why they bother me with this. Okay, I'm in two minds about this. I wonder if my own stock price is going to come tumbling down because of this. Are they going to look at me and go, oh, well now your subsidiaries make all the money, or are they going to look at my subsidiaries' income and count that towards me as well? Probably, otherwise you would just hide all your income there to manipulate the stock market. You never know, right? There's a lot of Initiatech. Holy crivens, what happened to Initiatech? They are dumping that stock like nobody's business. It's dirt cheap. It used to be ruler of the roost. What the heck happened? Insurance happened. You can buy them out. I could buy them out. Let's consider this. Initech still have a lot of that market share that I would like for myself. But if you're failing hard, then is the other insurance group failing hard? Who was the other insurance group? Tinner and Tinner. How you doing, Tinner? Also, where are you, Tinner? There you are. Oh my goodness, all of the insurance is crashing. Why? It doesn't matter. Their net worth is garbage. It's fallen down by 90%. I should take it. Maybe it's finally caught up with them, the fact that I relocated them over here. Yeah, maybe. Look at that, my market share in the city is going up. Maybe I don't need to buy them out. Maybe they're just going to die on their own and buying them out is a waste of money. If they just crash out of the market entirely, then that's my market share immediately. Hard to know what the right action there is. Buy them out or watch them fail. Because if they bounce back, I'm really going to regret not having bought them up. God, look at that though. And it's all in, well, a lot of it's in public shareholder hands. They don't get new clients, no premiums to make up for revenue. They still have old clients who they pay claims for. At least wait until you get the message that, good idea. But again, what if they don't get that far? What if they somehow manage to get out of it all? We should investigate a bit more. Initiatech. If we look at Initiatech, Tinner and Tinner is another good example. We can look at the shares that they have. Well, that's shareholders. They don't seem to have a lot. No loans, at least. So, do you actually have anything? Almost all of your net worth is in your cash. You have nothing. No stocks. Very little assets. Very little physical assets. Initiatech? Well, they don't even have cash. Don't even know what their net worth is part of. Okay, wow, what a bubble though. Imagine being the guy that sold right at the peak of Initiatech and Tinner. God, you'd be able to live like a king and tell your kids how good you made out. Okay, well, I think we'll just leave them to their burning fate. I like to think that was all my doing. They weren't able to get any new customers because I shoved them over to the corner of the city to cannibalize each other. And they still have their own things that they have to pay off. Can we actually get a closer idea of that? Like, what's their... new customers, 41,619. Don't even know what that really means. They have to wait a long time. Their rating is down. Their price level is far lower than mine. Can someone who understands the idea of underwriting profit and investment profit explain this to me? Does that mean that they had crappy shares? Did they lose all this money because they had a lot of shares in something that exploded? Up is good. Well, that profit of theirs seems pretty great, but holy moly. Did they just have scum shares? We can surely look into this in better detail. History. I want to see what. They haven't done a lot in a while, have they? They built a mansion. Everybody's selling their shares. Tinner and Tinner pays stock dividend, Tinner and Tinner. Must be something very recent. Everybody's dumping their stocks in Tinner and Tinner. It's being suggested that we can see what's going on from there. Hey, this is clearly the kind of stuff that Soviet is into, because he's doing his own kind of pump and dump here. Cheers. Right, let's try and suss out what happened to them, because I'm not going to be satisfied unless I know exactly what... Whoa, don't sell the R&D centers! He's doing some weird tech operations now. Those suspiciously furry people. Well, you know what? The less I see that, the better. I shouldn't be concerned about how he's running it as long as he makes it profitable. Okay, Tinner and Tinner, their HQ. Let's see if we can try to understand something about it. Corporation, Tinner, firm, overview. Go financial, balance sheet, income statement, competition. It doesn't show me where they had their stocks in, but that's the best explanation. That they had some kind of stocks that just crashed. But can we not see what they've been doing? I really want to know what they've been doing. Because it went apart for Initiatech as well, and I find it hard to believe they'd have the same stocks. I don't get it. I'm just going to have to believe that they had crappy stock that fell apart. Unlike me, I've got Nike, which also fell apart, but not that badly. And my insurance is too big to fail. I like having all this money to hand. I just wish it was making me money actively right now. Did they hire Baron? Baron doesn't deserve the flack he gets. Uh-oh. Capitalism Lab. I think it just... Error on file. Plan. And the game just crashed. Well, that's weird. Let's hope that's not a recurring issue. If it is, we might have a big problem here. Oh god, what if we reload and somehow Tinner and Tinner and Initiatech are suddenly doing A-OK? Well, I better make a save while we're at it. Save new. Longplay 014. Tinner crash. I'm sure we can do better than that. Time for Tinner. No, I still put those up for sale. Why? Don't put it up for sale. Sale is bad. Someone else will take it. Besides, why would you sell something doing active R&D? It makes no sense. I don't like it. Management policies, financial. Don't close down unprofitable. Liquidate. Is Liquidate selling? Take it off the market. These things are not for sale. Right. Let's keep an eye on our Tinnery friends. Subsidiaries out. I think we went through this before. Just borrow the money. Well, there's Tinner and Tinner crashing down as we want them to. Greetings from the land of the rising sun. Hey, it's Timmy! Started watching your playthrough of this game on YouTube. Noticed the shout out you gave me when mentioning the logo. Much appreciated. It is nice to be appreciated for a job well done, and that was a job well done. Also, that's another crash. Error plan, factory plan, rec, no one size. Error on file, plan, line 923. Well, that's pretty bad. Ah. Uh-oh, indeed. Well, just as Timmy comes in, the game comes crashing down. I think there's something explicitly causing that in the game. Definitely not mod-related, though. Well, 99% not mod-related. Okay, well, actually, that's a good point to hang it up there. We've been going for 4 hours. We have made massive profits, and we're just about to take control of the Germans and the Canadians. We'll liquidate what they have. We will seize control of real estate. We will go to the moon, sell at the moon, and then rebuy once we come crashing down into the crater. And then, well, I got some new industries I want to get into. We've already achieved our goals, so I need some new goals to go for this. I'm not satisfied ending this campaign as soon as it started, although there will be more campaigns. Still, I need to figure out this crash, so I'll do that with the rest of my time off. I'll be back with more of this on Wednesday, unless I somehow get it fixed and are back tomorrow. So until then, it's a cheers and a cheerio.